call you my way maker. My strong tower. You made a way. One more before we go. See, I call you my deliverer. I prince ya from Munyami. You made a way. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Woo.
And it's live at the moment, our Happy 98.9 FM. I'm talking about the Happy Morning Show. Live, our ETV Ghana, live, our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Live, our Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. Akwaba Eba Jimedian. So, was he made a way where there seems to be no way? Baby, I need that so any baby, I not a quino, a yakase, a sino. Na udru honema wunya bebia emfa se Israel for nam no makopi bebia epono eda na to cross or not to cross aya dwendwene na afi wo motiate Moses, you should have left us in the land of Egypt. There we had our garlic to eat, there we had good food to eat. And in the period when all hope was lost, that's when God intervened and opened up the Red Sea for the Israelites to cross. Minim anapewo soye adwendwene da so, minim anapewo soye kodanda da so, minim anapewo soye the burden that's on your shoulder, minim anapewo soye what is eating you up. But whatever be it, if it's job related, if it's home related, if it's money related, if it's health related, whatever be your concern, kaine hunu say there is nothing impossible for God to do, and he will make a way. Sometimes, like I said, somewhere last year or last 2 years, when I was giving a motivational message like this, I said that Obompaya, there are 3 responses that God would give you. 1 would be instant. There's some more 5 million, then they get their instant 5 million. Will be one more Obompaya, Onyankopon wait. And I'm hoping say Nyankopon san or the give you a team in channel. So woman in Chaya. And some esikano wadiamano, and some he says no, I won't grant it, because seeing where you are, when I give you this gift, you'll not be able to handle it, and it will rather become a curse for you. Seeing where you are, when I give you this gift now, you'll not be able to handle it, and it may disrupt your plans. And so I say wait. But sometimes when he looks, he says take it. And he gives you. He will make a way where there seems to be no way. When all hope is lost, when that child is not coming, when that marriage is breaking down, when your job almost you're losing it, when the money is not coming. Look, the month has just begun, and then 5th of January. Near what a year 2021 you would year. Now bring your buy no skaka crabby and some. You to bring your tadie. Yeto actually the command for Sikano Asan. And so you are wondering, how do I pay the fees waiting for me? Will be the near double silencer because the rent and so. How do you pay that rent? Not to talk about other and also to if ye Anwa, Emo, Gary, Dokuno, Bayre, all those things you need to get in the house. And so you are betting this morning, there's a heavy weight on you. Chill. Go on your knees and pray and just leave it to God. Was it say and yet he provides for them. How much more you man? I'm hoping her microphone is on. But when I come back, you see I'm in the spirit. I'll repeat it for everybody to hear. Besides, witness Wahana Madio Kaibiano, but the moment for. Yet, also the na any ACP retired Victor Tan Bedin Como. Now, the arrival live for the National Research Authority at the Abril Mamfo. The headlines of the newspaper ever to around 5:50 and a penny Madam Baku Minumi and Sabia Bekan, sir. You know, one for Ebeche. Ebeto also now the sports update is so Abril Mamfo Yedim Como. Nina and saying Nina any benchmark values 30% and 50%. Somewhere in April of 2019, a buying at the buyer. Somebody be boy one more a normal every report, one more a ton cash, one more ton to give them some small relief, say ABR would do normal airbar near my 50% discount, near my 30% discount, and then I buy per enra 30, sorry. Information feed the GRA airbar no enra and I was say about effect is one more a year at the free home. Then you may uti a TV stations, any radio stations are now I acquire say importers, exporters, guta, freight forwarders, women now, womaji, baby alpha, because they have started issuing threats about why and how government must hold on with the implementation of this reversal. Yeah, one more a no, and on unchain, two for one more idea to just say one more idea, every good honum. UTAC last year, yet your monka, one more almost strike at some point, one of the two form. So they are going back to the negotiation table with government. I know Kosiaga, one was next to Yamepa, one was to know one more air cost strike. Until after 20 a year 22 year, ye shall see no, ye the strike and ye the air shall see. Then you know, ye dear home come and pay our happy morning shoes. So there's a lot more to discuss in the course of our deliberations. I encourage you to stay with us while ye brood over all these matters. But for now, more about meeting at the simulation. Young court near any ACP calling come on, don't far a year, a road city Tibet no, and brain. Anopay, me di ACP adie na majina nemu na yedi road safety nsensem no atwaso edi abelman for se wono papa enam. Na so ye carpenter na onim senia yesi ebobo dadoa ede hye akonyam ema hode mbemu a na se wonya akoda pa unsua de oye fitani na oba enim senia ti dwoso ye school no ma asem ho mini ACP di nkoma no pa bia enti nkyerɛkyerɛ wode ema ye dan nyina no mesua bi ena mini udi nkoma na mini udi nkoma efa aye ekwan so ntokwa okay misua na meti taxi bi mu na ye ko ba bi na ko be board driver na crossings na de bu fu so wo kono ko hia guy na o ko chinare na obe guy na guy ne ka che ne so be pacho awa bufu nyina na ayira no ene mini udi nkoma na mini udi nkoma about the car you are driving itself yemu bebre honoma yeso anopa ne akotena ye car mu ne yetu car no as to say the car is in good condition, as to say the car is not in good condition, we don't mind. But you see, the car is what takes you in and out. And so you must pay attention to that car. I mean, sure, no matter me, and I pay. Oh, sorry, I no pana o car no now be a car na minia. The first place you must go to is the bonnet. Yes, and no beer. First place you must go to is the bonnet. Open the bonnet. Who be a bonnet now? Who check it enoma miensa. One. Ayo oil no ewo car him say is there oil in the engine now because oil no and a lubricated engine no ema car no etimi run smoothly edema wo. And it says so take and I say a kofom no hu a dade e na e ka dade na afi wo engine no say ana say oni beba ho no na e smoky. And to remove the dipstick, wipe the initial oil no, wipe it off with some tissue awo no. Never shame bim na check say a gauge na. That's the first thing you must do. We are one sparky car no nya na hwe na afi wo bie wo car no. Reservoir no ana water tank no bie either of them. Na check say ensure wo car ni mu ana. Ebi anymore ensure no for be egumum. So be a reservoir na bon so de markings me no ewo honom. Bako minimum, bako maximum. Make sure say odi nsuo no egumu akodu maximum no. Maybe all ma so me de gusu na mapeko dabi. There's a reason why boni no or the minimum and the maximum at the etu honom. And if a good na maximum no pepe emanem broso because the radiator has to breathe. And emanem broso. Oh yeah, the third place you are going to is a windscreen washer no. There's a reason. She says you mwana fence you gumu. Send ya okona ebia abo bi insect bi ebe fa car na anima na ebia ahwe no ekunwa. wetimi emia nsuo ede aguani ede apepa windshield no na wetimi ehu ade visibility security. Make sure these 3 things are sorted in your car. The final point, and some of the headlines on the newspapers now Abro Manfo, and it said, now go back into your car, sit in the car and start the engine. Who start the engine now? Allow the engine to run for a minute, 2 or 3. And one see on my na engine no and settle. So one notice here, sometimes those spark car na no petitu tua. Can a see wa ma dia chiso anadwono ewiemu eye nunu. And the engine now is super cold. And the starting now just swah, then the engine warms up. And most of the times you need to start up with size engine this you know I was siwa na enwa aba na befa level. You are good to go for the entire day. Na so one yen say be one ma oh yeah the bag 2 and laptop bag 2 can no started change na fresh vim one ekro no. Oil encore engine no pass ni nyina yie. Ti be ho no ma na oil anko na car no engine no na essay. Mr. These 4 things are important. Intention and so. O chere me pa me ba me so chere eno bi a e wo se wo ye ansa na wo move your car no out of the house. Then another whether your car is new or not. These are fundamental things you must do all the time. We and I can the bro. I found it in row safety tidbit at your day every month for another be our happy morning show. So you better near home about near the headlines of the newspapers and every back to the happy morning show live on ATV live on happy 98.9 FM. Energy Media across our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I encourage you say Oko Facebook I know I should share ETV Ghana. ETV Ghana. Obon say your logo no red. Na white kakra enso elmua ino edda infinfini. There are several ones there. I mean, so that when you go, you don't subscribe to the wrong channel. I've noticed that there are lots and lots of ETVs on Facebook. But the particular one that I'm talking about, and I probably say no, Ushe logo na. When say wama EG, I'll match your world of quality entertainment. Your world of quality entertainment, and to know any original ETV channel now, and I am encouraging you to go and check out, so that whatever we are doing now, you'll find it on our Facebook page. You'd realize that we have over 500,000 subscribers to that channel, and it's got a huge following, over 500,000 followers. One more follows our page, and to look for that particular one, ETV Ghana. One more yedi logo no atu hon ma yatro logo no asiano bo siatro your world of quality entertainment na onso no utilize it. That aside no happy 989 FM we betima follow him Facebook na hon so no ahede ekoso e studio hanum say nti we information kakra dey mo man for na o follow no so no na de so dey am dey ma one say bomodin say menua we betima share the feed the live feed no to pages, groups, was one na yenyina intimi mboa na show no enyine nenye kese and we air the show there the man for say please kindly share the link so others may follow the conversation this morning. Some media many Fatisha Bali and our hanum say and Sefa Dankwa Samo and Suso Elmenchea yedi jumedi no ehihye is Sefa morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Na bibi adedin.
Agubano.
Yede wadi ase. Fati morning.
Good morning, sir.
Bibi adedin. Yede wadi ase. Yo, say anope ye sha said ya na sefa minim se odi ebe nanti anope with krata wo no.
And sakra and sana menant. There is a bit of information about COVID-19. Minim say they are fighting COVID-19, but see there are scientists from India and UK can say so wo na ohododo ohoyo ya gidi unusually ho na omni mawo and say bowa for a very long period of time, even about 1 week. Hona say otu obi ana so minimum kekawa. Mr. wa bomodiana tumrika kwa ya resabia. Na koko test because these are the new additional symptoms that Omicron virus no. The aba nti ubehwe na anajo da ho mfifiri ntai ntew na mfifiri tew gidi ewo bra ohwe nye wo ohwe na oti o ya gidi
a me fa home test kits in mbam beton my 20 cities
because
the way things are going obi enya COVID 2 times 3 times
yeah
What must I say?
Yes.
And you know, like people cannot always go and pay 250 cedis to do a test. And can you pay? Obia Pankams every week be a
test, yes.
But where is the money to be doing
but
that?
On a more serious note, if everybody were to be testing every week, Charlie, Ejuma be collapse or my
Oh, not entirely.
No, on a more serious note, not that I'm being inhumane.
Have COVID.
Yes, not that I'm being inhumane.
I'm on test, of course.
Yes, so yeah, they go to work.
Yeah.
But imagine that, Charlie, everybody is testing every week. And you might be able to collapse or my way same. Because all the staff would definitely have to be working from home. And in case you know, God forbid that cheer there is only a Zoom call.
I said no, it's simple. I mean, at a point in time, CNN and CBS were doing that. So majority of their workers were working from home.
Yeah.
The newscasters were working from home.
Yeah.
Hosting morning show were working from home. But don't make sure that they give you the necessary gadgets. I bet me
repeat one of mommy, Elwood and Cosby. Repeat one of mommy.
They make sure they'll give you the necessary gadgets.
That is not what I'm talking. Repeat when you started. It was a CBS new my thing.
They worked from home.
And a morning show for so yeah. They
were working from home.
So newscasters so yeah.
They were working from home. They make sure that they set amount of fear easy enough for you to actually transmit from. I don't say because on internet facility and as on internet infrastructure, it's not as fast as that of ours. Maybe I hear from home.
Well, I don't know. If I mean who's somebody a new one be about say Florona Abano. I know I chanced upon a new one. When we discover our France, your friend IHU, and as you see another COVID-19 variant. You see, on the corner working the Omicron now, ADHD, and it looks like Charlie COVID-19 we are not getting out of it. I read somewhere as well. Now the Ghana Health Service was indicative, say one more a day booster shots. And that they are having conversations about the possibility of giving Ghanaians a booster shot after CFI first and second, shots. And as one shot, the booster shots ever amount for. So government is considering plans to come up with protocols for booster shots and as a doses for Ghanaians.
And in all of these things, I represent a voice that has been asking questions as to whether the vaccines are actually doing the job that they're supposed to do because of the data available from the United States of America as well as Israel. Even those who've been given booster shots, Sputnik V 2 doses, the amount additional Johnson & Johnson, and as the amount additional Pfizer, and as a Moderna booster. But still now, those people are being reinfected. The Israeli government is thinking of giving them another. So that's the 4th dose. A bit more bomb to wave off any impact from Omicron virus. So that's the question majority, especially the people are say vaccine these are some of the issues as to whether vaccine
it is the level of protection that you get from even taking a shot that makes it necessary for you to take the vaccine. As for that one, whether you get reinfected, whether you get reinfected, that is not the case. The case is that you are at ground zero. We are giving you a shot to bring you out to level 1. So that at level 1, when you get even the COVID-19 virus, the severity of the disease will not be as it would have been if you didn't have a shot at all. And so I would prefer getting a shot, getting a booster shot, to limit my chances of really falling sick than to stay and say, oh, I'm not taking the vaccine. I prefer that. And then we would have to encourage people, look, I'm a friend Diago, COVID-19, no, it is real. I'm a friend Diago. Minia, on kwaje paniena, ko ne kwajibi. One more woo ayate was a minion, it's real. Ebia embe wo fie nti na adwen so we ya grobi. But COVID-19 is real. Enti onkoje paneɛ ne a mesrew. Ko na koje paneɛ ene onyame adom nti you say a vaccines no bebre the last I checked no so over 8 million people. Our target last year was 20 million. We are still talking about the 20 million. But now vaccine hesitancy and asset in amount for emphasis mobukeko no makako. Well, you heard about we say on the Ministry of Health for the starting one no card, no entry, no. Fati enra me drive kofia na bibi knocking me. And it was that I read online that people had gone there and they are vaccinated, but they had left their vaccination cards at home. And so they were turned away from entering the Ministry of Health. Then again, I asked myself to say, if Sefati Oriya, then I will repeat it, what kind of can Israel and USC? I can say it is the case, say there is the possibility of reinfection. Nasi will be a jab, full complement, but that person is being reinfected, but he doesn't know. And so he walks into the Ministry of Health holding his card and is granted entry into the ministry. Is that person not a threat to people he's going to meet at the ministry?
A negative test is better than holding a card.
Exactly. So, I mean, as much as it might be a step in the right direction, like I was saying, the target, firstly, for me, the target should not be the place. 2 is the fact that if there is reinfection, then it renders the entire exercise null and void. 3 has to do with I was not physically holding my card, but I have a picture of my card for which the Ministry of Health should be able to scan with their barcode to know whether indeed I have registered that. What happens? Especially when we found out when you input the number that is on the card, it gives you no information. So if people came there with scanned copies of their card with the barcode indicated there, what happens? Yeah. And so yenye complete na yenyina yehu ne say yema no ye de ko eye enkan ne sa. But you say with the Daily Graphic newspaper, but I think I don't feel that one say yema kwa about Ebaj. So we are live on Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. Awo Bogatanga and Tamale. Now, Osha front page of the paper and the problem is His Excellency the President is interacting with Dr. Ya Osei Educhum, Minister for Education. Was he homes for teachers? 10,000 affordable units underway. And no Honum Ministry of Health turns away unvaccinated people. And a rise about partisan interest. Reverend Dr. Makwe tells MPs and no Honoma Oman for betimi Edi Omani Ediachi no making kind be South Africa Parliament blaze contained and no Honoma Omode a year abanti being phony at 20 Yefeno a year Zandil Christmas Murphy who was arrested in the parliamentary complex and no Honum Mali opposition rejects election delay in new transition plan. Liberian opposition figure wanted over alleged a year forgery. Nina Honoma Oman for Ebeti Omani Ediachi no making kind be Theranos founder convicted of fraud and a US arrest suspect in assassination of Haiti's president and also NATO schedules special meeting with Russia amid Ukraine crisis and also Oman for Ebetimi Akinkan Ebi and pay other stories El Kratano Emu any equipping teenage girls schooled on ways to climb academic calendar and also Oman for Ebetimi Akinkan Ebi AC Boatin joins NPP chairmanship race. CPP targets membership drive. Nanaya Janto Amfoni at the Honum and a rise about partisanship. I've already read that story. Let's build winning party for 2024 election. Eric Bote and Kasa. Educhum commends Ghanaians for a peaceful Yuletide and no Honum. Another case of bird flu outbreak detected in Tema Metropolis and no Honum. And a forestry commission exposed $185 million worth of wild animals and plants. And also Honoma Oman for Ebetimi Akinkan Ebi and Ope promotes peaceful coexistence. Minister urges residents. Honum and a 4 fighter vessels acquired for the Navy. Wow. I like what I'm seeing. 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 You know, when I see these things,
now person joining.
That be Mr. Amaso. Now can make join but Amaso.
I understand. Why now? Was the son? Why?
Well, time at the end by no, and at the time, was the perceptions the old folks had about the military, which is not so, and so based upon that, the candidate based upon that, almost you men call. But by this time, come show uniform and can we say Katama a lockdown the buy no and come at Chinu Kuma man yard and come as sorting. On to minimums now and Casa like that.
Only general to meet now Casa like that, me boy.
General Benham no Casa been in itself.
And general. Investing.
Other stories all in support innovation technology. Apostle Safo Kantanka entreats government. ICU implores workers to do away with negative air tendencies. And human error major cause of road crashes. 81 killed from December 19th to air 25. Into air stories and a daily graphic at the Abraying.
The Ghanaian Times, no surgical operations in public hospitals as anesthetics lay down tools. Seek phase of God to turn around corporate fortune. Dr. Lawrence Tete to NTC staff. 200 river guards to combat illegal mining. COVID-19 vaccinations, 8.8 million doses, doses, not people, administered. 2.8 million fully vaccinated so far. And no honum so and 2 die in road crash at Sakode Lokoi and Sokode. Yo.
Okay, Sokode. Hey,
Sokode.
Sokode
Lokoi. No, Volta region. 2 women convicted for providing NIA with false information. Plumber remanded for destroying medical equipment. And also a story So and a CJ urges media to remain committed to democracy. Sudan's PM resigns after mass protests. Advisors discuss latest development after elections delay in Libya. SA Parliament fire suspect had explosives. US report record 1 million COVID-19 cases with peak still to come. And also a story so and Ubenya stories be it say ICU tasks members to eschew negative tendencies. And also a story braving the odds for higher education, a story of a cleft student. A story pay GES non-teaching staff CPD allowance TEU demand. Tackle corruption fight from grassroots. Agencies admonished. Papa V's family appeals to president to release separatists. And also a story Alex Ewu appointed managing director of ARB Apex Bank PLC. Bese Manche awarded honorary doctorate in leadership and humanity. A story so teachers deserve to be held in high esteem. Asante Hino Tumfo say to and Eka. Seek the face of God to turn around. And also Makindada. Children of Zion Prayer Ministry Fet cured lepers. Stankan donates to KBTH Child Health Unit. When you know a story, sir, so offer the Ghanaian Times, sir, ubet me any be kind. So and VAC present hampers to 22 veterans administered at 37 hospital. Admitted. Tamale residents undergo free health screening. Tadi Tazi community enjoys potable water supply. 100 widows gifted with items. And also 100K for Ghana Construct Kente Village for Potoi. Cocoa Processing Company to raise $86.7 million for operations. Benchmark value scrap for 43 items takes effect. GRA NIECA. Fuel prices go up by 2.8%. Now, fuel prices now mama na cost no. Moon say January na yewom no. Moon say January comes with its own attendant problems. And I'm also in the fuel so aba beka ho. Ebe.
Now why the fuel price na cost?
Why na man cost?
Why na man cost?
Now why na man cost? Why na man cost?
Market forces.
Oh, Abrante. You people, when you talk like this, I don't get it. Are you guys trying to say that there is no way, there is no intervention?
Yes, that's why government has stabilized the, recent a year stabilization levy. And now, Omami who say they are continuing with it for a month more until the end of this month. You are enjoying
the removal of the stabilization levy.
And you will pay in up a day. Yes, also can't something be done? It was supposed to have ended on the 31st of December.
Go up by 2.8%. And then as I say, there is nothing anybody.
But it's a deregulated sector. Almost show.
I'm in business for profit.
Sit on air and run your mouth.
We know that we'll buy. Now you say anything about your mental car. I didn't move anywhere. I was home minding my business. Because when I did the math, for instance, Fatiwu invited me to member for fear. We took a free me by the time I returned 150 Ghana there. Let's spend it. And there was traffic in town.
Yes.
And to be a master now for 150. The fufu na nkasa again no baby bia no. The oku chama me no ene na me da so no. 50 Ghana.
Akoko 9.
The other version no kon hunu.
Na me de emu 150 ene ekotwafu akwaba. Oh, me by the Friday na close here na me free ha na me stormy market. Me Jimmy chicken me Jimmy bia.
Chicken na ye turn October.
Movies ni go ho.
Ye turn chicken October.
It's
spicy ye share fridge.
It's
Christmas.
Tactical movement ye did bunya we say. Who frame remember? Sure. Who frame remember?
Yes, also with daily guide the Obokrat and Nano pay. Banner headline: affordable housing for teachers. Till decries discrimination. That story is on page number 6 of the daily guide the Obokrat and Nano pay. Jesus Ahonfe gets trial papers and also me boy Jesus Ahonfe me say fate ama ni muso and Jesus Ahonfe the info ni so edda eye krata no echi a wo born in sem pra 6 die in gory accident and also a story o daily guide the Obokrat and ma ofa betimi enye bi akenkan avian flu hits Tema na oko page number 3 of a daily guide the Obokrat and Anopaya Infonibu ho akosia ene de beto ho akosia was 31st prophecy omo fear kwenu ene kept the bed says since men have learned to shoot without missing he has learned to fly without perching. That says things fall apart. Page number 16. Over daily guide of Obokrat na bihu. There is an editorial on page number 4 of a year the daily guide of Obokrat and saying the doom prophecies and also Konfanochi Teaching Hospital gets free ventilators and also some international news what daily guide of Obokrat and New York AG subpoenas Donald Trump and kids. Haiti Prime Minister survives assassination attempt. US report 1 million daily COVID-19 cases with peak to come.
Sefa, that story, didn't we read that he had been murdered, he had been killed by...
No, that's
Haiti.
That's the first, they know what...
The initial one.
Moise.
Yeah.
Omo Kuno.
Yeah.
Wenso has survived an assassination attempt.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Second Chinese city put into total COVID-19 lockdown. SA Parliament fire suspect had explosives. Now, if you are brandy anymore, da fatty, so now ultimately read the faces. That's any more mobile.
Now, I couldn't put it out, Jenna. On
Landslide kills 14 and injures 3 others at hospital construction site in China. Yamra memo say produced Boko chieftaincy clash suspect court orders. 6 die in Gori accident. MC Medical Aboso Kwafo Apedra dualized road opens to traffic. New job in Queen Mother dies. Prophet Kofi Odro mocks doom prophets. Produce problem-solving graduate. A year or 2 4 or say to the second. Asantehene and our disassemble to job. Police explain journalists' arrest and also Eboho. Guta warns of price escalation. MSC Limited supports vulnerable. Alexa Wu appointed MD of ARB Apex Bank. Gold Star Air offers PPEs to church. NDC loses 3 top members. Man pours acid on wife. You has to celebrate 10th anniversary. Family stranded after New Year fire outbreak. And also a story a daily guide about Kratenum. I'll be to There is a story here: claim motorbikes or lose them. The story comes with a picture of Ura Henry Korte, who is the regional minister for the Greater Accra region. Suhum sub-chief fetes orphans, widows. Baumia welcomes New Year in church. Into any stories that offer a daily guide. The Obo Kratano, 5th of January 2022. I'll be to
Yanko your website www.happyghana.com and for stories now only be embro amount for and pay stories no be any benchmark reversal. Don't interfere in our business. Guta to AGI. Otufo advises teachers to stop embarking on strikes and no elhonum. Improve teaching conditions of teachers as Antehene to government. NDC stalwart dead. We've not recorded any cases of Florona, Noguchi assures Ghanaians. Prosecute military hierarchy in charge of armory. Security experts reacts to ANC more New Year shooting. And Omicron variant dominates cases in Ghana. That's according to Ayet Noguchi. Fuel price to rise by 3.7%. COPEC predicts. And we are working to get the economy back on track. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and Eka Sasemno.
Yantosu with citynewsroom.com. And I say TEU begins strike today over unpaid professional development allowance. Boko disturbances. 13 suspects to appear before Accra High Court today. Nanado promises to address concerns raised against one teacher, one laptop policy. Other stories near public sector workers to enjoy 7% rise in base pay. Employment Minister and this asem no atuja Mr. Matitienie enye net pay o enye net salary or say base salary and say the other gratuities na as a perks in the account. La concerned youth accused traditional council government officials of selling lands. Freight forwarders kick against retrospective application of benchmark value reversal. Strike by anesthetist bites hard as it enters day 4. We will strive to get the economy back on track this year. Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, Vice President, and this assembly Atu Ija. Other stories near Freddie Blake cautions against divisiveness in Parliament, asks members of Parliament to remain united. Flag raising ceremony to be held at UN headquarters to admit Ghana to Security Council. Pandai Hospital OPD nurses resume work after alleged attack on colleague. Guba engages key stakeholders, diaspora at maiden diaspora conversations. Ghana's education system must produce creators, not consumers. A year Asantehene Otumfuo 82 and the Sasamu Yatuja. Ghana isn't broke. Stop denigrating the country's image internationally. Professor Korte and Eka Sasimwe in Ashanti region, I'll say importers oppose reversal of benchmark value reduction implementation. Fuel price may go up by 3.7% this month, COPEC predicts, and a reversal of benchmark value reduction to take effect yesterday, but said the NTN by say and Rano and said that near Jumasa because and ran Koma Bexamene or Benjamin Yaboy do or fact sheet to or say when yan and TSA reversal no SRC Juma and run to any some of the stories I'll call citynewsroom.com and now no pay a bit me on your back in Gao.
Google News. Ghana's active COVID-19 cases crossed 12,000 after Yuletide. Ghana to make first-degree minimum qualification for new teachers. Benchmark value give concessions to imported raw materials. 100 most influential social impact companies in Ghana. I list here more. Also, Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, UAE join UN Security Council. Ghana coach Milovan Waiva taking 5 home-based players to Cameroon. Wait, stories are Google News are Ubenyebi Akai.
Yet also the CNN.com and it was on a page stories on a be any Sean Hannity's texts to Trump administration reviewed. Fox News host was concerned about Trump's strategy and conduct before, during, and after the Capitol riot. January 6 panel says CNN rolls the tape on Fox News hosts public spin versus private police and no El Honum in zero COVID-19 Hong Kong. This is what happens when you test positive. And we can't vaccinate the planet every 6 months, vaccine scientist says. South Korean stealth fighter makes emergency belly London. China denounces Walmart for stupidity. And Kazakhstan declares state of emergency in protest-hit city. Most powerful space telescope ever built achieves critical milestone. And GM was America's largest automaker for nearly a century. It was just dethroned. And a French TV star dies of COVID days after twin brother. We, stories are anapay CNN.com at the Abraham.
Yantoasin call BBC.com and anapay stories are BBC.com. I'll be Timenia Biakinkani. Macron says he will pressure France unvaccinated to get vaccinated. Travel firms call for removal of COVID testing. And also a story at BBC.com. I'll call anapay with me NB Akinkan. Curfew in Delhi as COVID cases surge. North Korea launches unidentified projectile. U.S. teacher arrested for vaccinating student. Snowbound highway, I woke up in the same spot. Decision soon on dismissing Andrew case. Judge. Colombian charged over Haiti president's murder. And also a story at okobbbc.com and anopaya betimi enye bi akenkan. Other stories at okobbbc.com obetimi enye bi akenkan. US and EU warn Sudan military against naming own PM. SA Parliament fire suspect had explosives. Second Chinese city put into total COVID lockdown. China investment firm slams after $6.6 billion bailout. French TV twins die of COVID 6 days apart. Channel migrant numbers treble in 2021. Police stung as beekeepers protest in Chile. Paraguayan soldier killed by deer at a palace. 2 held in Egypt amid outrage over teens' suicide. Families win compensation over jet downed by Iran. And Trump's children refuse to testify in fraud inquiry. To any some of the stories, I'll call BBC.com and Anopaya.
Reuters News. Doctors say lives are lost in hospitals in Ethiopia's Tigray due to dwindling supplies. South African inquiry points to systematic corruption during Zuma era. South Africa Parliament blaze contained. National Assembly completely destroyed. Nigeria's Auditor General flags missing police firearms. U.S. envoy Feldman to visit Ethiopia on Thursday to meet with officials. Firefighters battle new blaze at South African Parliament. Niger police seized more than 200 kg of cocaine from mayor's truck. We a story sa Reuters news obenyebi akayanope.
Yet also now the weather update Abromanfo from the Ghana Meteorological Agency na area the trends the amount for discussing the home services so abre omanfo ofia aflawo Accra Kaswa Cape Coast Takrade Axim Hoa ubon say anapay no it will be a misty morning. Temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius. Ariano it will be slightly hazy. With temperature being around 35 degrees Celsius. In the evening, few clouds are expected to gather for these areas, with temperature dropping to somewhere around 27 degrees Celsius. Ushe END, Tamale, Boli, Damango, Gatanga, Nalegu, Enewa. It will be dry and hazy this morning, with lowest temperature being somewhere around 19 degrees Celsius. Area, it would remain same, but temperature would rise from the 19 degrees Celsius to around 33 degrees Celsius. And it would still be dry and slightly hazy, but temperature would be around 25 degrees Celsius. Into way and weather update a bit me at the Abre Oman Pay.
Yemfa COVID-19 figures and so active cases a year 13,025. Confirmed cases total 147,203. New cases 1,084. Deaths 1,309. Recoveries and discharge 132,869. Yeko worldwide total figures I record here 295 million plus 2.44 million. Deaths 5.46 million plus 5,925. Intisa ena figures no etie se me the trend no etwaswa na enyina ye nim se 31st night prophecies ni nneoma ekọ so nti no ama asori ene asofo ene prophet trend sesia na Prophet Nigel Gazy yanga saso yene no ekasaye ewa hanom na one Kofi TV interview okeka na adwen ana na ninje enwoma bia honorable Kennedy Apon ema no ena no kase so evidence bia against him ontumi emfa embetudwa na eno ena ade anche video bi asha ase aba circulate na prophet no ene oba bi ewo yibia ebi mu fi say compromising but media me hu so moti akonwa so as on shirt and oba ne de o sha atare ebi mu say yempa but enye mpa akonwa we eno anote na so a e de ye ni interview no enti no enye mpa akonwa just say on sha atare and oba no ho utumi so say oba no record there all seriously, so they were both aware of the recording. Inti eno ena man for commenting about it. People are saying say obi akoliki video ni ade, but per me investigations kakra ma ye no oba na ne ko posti on TikTok all the chief crews all sere ebi mu aba be ka say oye na wo fa ase ebi si oye ne ba obi si oye na danfo say I just on no an obetimi aba be chirechire mu say anase oba no aka say oye ne ba na oye na danfo anase oye ne den na comment ni bia aba enie. Assistant boyfriend say, my blood sister's daughter. Do we have water sister's daughter? And no ohonum. Lover, he should have said my niece. Ghana Elon Musk, even if it's true, it's still weird as for you to be in bed or chair with her. Sister daughter blood, early chief. Anyway, something must kill a man. And tisa ena comment ni bi ohonuma koso. But let me state say, Ocean ne interview no ye na who say e akonya we ya na not so or ye interview no nti enye bed e akonya.
Well, for viewers on social media no Oko Facebook now you see that we are displaying the image there And then the video is also there for people to watch. And, you know, if we can just have the video shortly, now, you know, and jump into the issues.
Fine boy like you easy. You won't kiss somebody.
Let me say, area that. A man for say, I didn't a bed, or more than passo. And I make sure say, I'm pan or more that's Ayakunya, and I'm so. Ayakunya. So that, you know, whatever it is people are thinking, say, you know, Akunyano should make a difference. And exactly.
Anyway, I will hesitate to comment on this.
Why?
No, I wouldn't comment on it.
Why?
No. I don't want to comment on it.
You also say Besha won't come in public, right?
No.
So why don't you want to comment on it?
No, when you're there.
No, when you're there, saying.
See, I'm say a girlfriend. What I say, I am not saying the pastors can do these things. I won't encourage it and I won't endorse it. Say, Okoshen come, one shem come, umofia. Wakase obi ebewu na se wanwu anaso wakase obi say na yemfa say the private life there oni obi akoye ni a then why bring it on social media to what, to blackmail him for prophecies?
And watching the interview now, it looks like this is quite old.
Anyway,
because I said we need
Charlie.
Yes.
As we speak now.
Charlie. Anyway, so far stories I want to say will be on a person of for.
I remember that was me no. It's answer me free teacher for in Diana teacher for 7. But me name say be a part of any story on COVID-19.
Yanko.
Oh, Yanko COVID-19.
Yanko.
Why?
Hey.
Yanko.
Any Yanko page number 3. Daily Guide the Bokrata no. Ehona story no. The story is from IF Joe Ewa Junior. Owo Kumasi just so Daily Guide no correspondent de Kumasi. Affordable housing for teachers. Eno mampani edi atudwa. Na my main kind story ni said the be ya a tifo na hwefo mu 80 yen hwe no. Omu so ebitimi enya a bit of the mampani na Adam Akufo-Addo e kan no. President Akufo-Addo has announced that plans are far advanced by his government for the construction of 10,000 affordable houses for teachers in the country within the next 2 years. May the emphasis not to was said ye didn't come out to beat me a 3 year. According to him, his administration is aware of the challenges that teachers faced with regards to owning their own homes. Challenges which he said this positive project is intended to address for teachers and their families. The housing project, he said, will be built across the country and it will be given out as mortgage or rent for teachers to enable them to have decent homes to live in. I'm quoting Ayaman Panyin and Adam Akufo-Addo. I say, within the next 2 years, proposed 10,000 housing units on affordable terms would be developed for teachers. This is a tip of the iceberg, but it is a good beginning, the president said, attracting wild applause. President Akufo-Addo was delivering his address during the 6th quadrennial of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, which was held in Kumasi yesterday.
I want to clarify something. I read somewhere that it's going to be provided on retirement. Is that the case?
I mean, kind story, and I mean, quite because I had the baby. I'm a kind. The president also said that his administration is working out a subsidized loan program which would give teachers the golden opportunity to own homes and houses at any location of the country in order to better their lives. Continuing, the president disclosed that the National Service Scheme and the Ministry of Education, as well as the Ministry of Works and Housing, the various teachers' unions are in talks over this upcoming program. According to him, his administration cherished the efforts and sacrifices of teachers in the training of students in the country. Therefore, government will do their utmost best to transform the living conditions of teachers.
Okay. Media Mihuyan say Akufo-Addo announces home owning retirement package for teachers. Dia Mihuyan no. Story and say President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has announced a new affordable housing policy for teachers, adding that an opportunity will also be provided for them to own houses in desired locations in various parts of the country. He said the affordable housing initiative will involve the provision of houses for both mortgage and rental to be made up of 10,000 units. The project will be completed by 2024. President Akufo-Addo made this known on Tuesday. I say I am fully aware into na story neka, but me read this story na kasa dia me where it's talking about a retirement package, because the reason why I wanted to be sure and they said me who retirement package now we read the story now almost say you live in and pay like a mortgage and stuff. And I was asking myself, so be our retirement there, or if I know you know monthly income or the ABT, I just a pension, nesnet no the best and I just wanted to be sure. So, but since the body of the story didn't really explain that, whether it's for retirement or not, you know, major but Stephanie Same. Me, this is not the first time I've heard a scheme like this for teachers. I heard about the car scheme, laptop DA, nina issues. Some didn't materialize, some did, and I am wondering, say, affordable housing project, peace. Nina no, ekosi saying. Why are we always starting new projects when old ones seem to have been neglected? And as the old ones, you know, maybe you could do and we leave it and we start another one. No, why is that? Why is that? And when we say affordable housing, how affordable are these houses going to be? Teachers is saying, and actually, me afford the atobie. Ebia Obiwa, I mean, say yes, this one will be completed by 2024. Obiwa, I can't 2 years, I'm an retirement. This is actually the time the person might really need Bibisa compared to Obia Fena Washe teaching us here. But Ebia Obia Washe teaching us here, I mean, say a single young man or young lady. Na say ni pay numu eye to say Obia or Shase as people teacher or Kukwanga Kranka. We do not be or the degree and a master's abeshim no. I'm sure say the level no able to cry I was right no. Or movie no why na really or here dino. Why na bit me afford the dino. Into no scheme nankasa no ne nitty-gritty tonight is saying, you know, into no is it going to be a beer a krama work or retirement and you have priority and now explanation needs to be given. Otherwise no blanket no blankets sana. Obian to me beside questions. Obian to me and hold you accountable for anything, and then the name Musa and us will be a refi, and then we come back to square one.
Well, I am happy about the move and the decision by government to support teachers with 10,000 affordable units. If you see the deplorable conditions that teachers be a woman, woman so ahomache anopa da nyina ko kirade. Baby omotie, baby omo free eba be kirade. And then government sees the need to provide 10,000 affordable housing units to these teachers.
Where?
I say it's commendable. If I may.
You may not.
To have the thought to even provide for these teachers is commendable. If you read the story, it says that government has started rolling out a scheme to grant teachers subsidized loans for them to purchase homes at locations of their choice. So where you want to live, government will help you to acquire that property. It tells us from the story that the modalities are there. Some will be to rent and later on own, or some to pay through mortgage arrangements. You own a building. Maybe it's a 2-bedroom project, maybe it's a 1-bedroom project, maybe it's a 3-bedroom project. For me, for government to even initiate and to think about the welfare of teachers, I say kudos. It's a step in the right direction, and I will urge government to go ahead and do these projects for the teachers. Teachers have been suffering in this country, and I think that they deserve buildings of their own. You see, a young man who has no experience in life, when you're university, the oil say what radio, what TV, so you're MPP, NDC communicator, and within 1 year he's owning a building. Within 2 years he has a car. And then teacher would teach and teach and teach and has no building, has no car. For me, it's a commendable move by government. I am just praying that as a nation, now implementation is always a challenge, you know. Wouldn't have a similar situation with this project of building 10,000 affordable units for teachers. Government thinking about teachers is a step in the right direction, and I encourage government to do so. But I ask the question, 10,000 affordable units. Where are we getting the money, the funding for this project? I'm asking, where is the money coming from? How much is it going to cost government to embark on this project if government is going to provide the subsidized money for renting or the acquisition of these properties? Fatih made a brilliant point about teacher for car loan scheme and the car acquisition scheme. The doctors were part of it. At some point we were told, the doctors and the teachers and the nurses were abusing the system, and so it was withdrawn. These little things that teachers could enjoy are not there. Wouldn't it be nice? Say teacher ni betimi atena ono ankasa ne car mu say Kia Picanto no or drive your car without necessarily standing by the roadside looking for a car. The little things teachers could enjoy. If they are not there, then it makes a conversation about the acquisition of a home sometimes very difficult to believe. And so I wouldn't begrudge anybody out there who might have the thinking, say 10,000 affordable housing units. It's political talk. I won't begrudge anybody. Because Anapaya say, Sefa, UTAC has indicated next week they are going on strike.
Yes, of course.
Since 2020, UTAC has been on the table agitating. At some point, they had to put down their tools. It took interventions and Labour Commission, taking them to court and all before UTAC came and said they had suspended their strike. Hoping and thinking, say, the earlier submissions we had from UTAC to the point to say, when we come meetings, I'm paying for now. No more small boys about it, so they should come and meet them. We were thinking that matter would be resolved and that it wouldn't rear its ugly head up this year. And then A5th, UTAC has indicated next week one more aircraft strike. Tew! Same. And if I read a friend saying story and now we'll catch him, so a doctor for one group in the back, how many days in here? Almost about 3 days in here.
4 days.
And their service crucial.
Critical.
Like without them
there is
nothing
no
can happen.
operation.
So I ask myself, say, look, I'm looking for the Tewu story. So if I ask myself, say Tewu for aircraft strike, say UTAC for aircraft strike, and they are defying an advice that Otumfuo himself had given to one more the teaching fraternity anymore. Was it over 35,000 members of the Teachers and Education Workers Union who withdraw their services and they are withdrawing their services. And what are the issues? If you read the story, it says the minister said we should liaise with the Ghana Education Service Management. We have engaged them. In fact, in the wisdom of the management of GES, they said, let us put together a technical committee to look at the issues and give appropriate recommendations. We are in January 2022. The committee has not even been met yet. They have not even started anything. When these agitations have been there. And so, Fatih, say accoutrements, just logistics are medjuma. Teaching allowances, research allowances. If you're not providing these things for me to better myself to teach, how then does somebody believe if you tell me you are going to provide 10,000 affordable housing units to a teacher? What I require for my profession to be a profession, you're not providing it. And yet you are telling me that you're going to provide 10,000 affordable housing units for teachers. You are telling me that you're going to give me subsidized loan to rent a place. And yet my friends and teaching allowance and my research allowance and my what book allowance and how do I believe that you're going to give me a loan to rent a place?
So allowance in no. Because of some of these basic needs and demands are esika ko hihiem no. Enu nte na maya na ye ni abre no. What am I say?
So, I mean, as much as for me, I'm for this. A teacher needs a home. A teacher ought to get a good place to live.
Who doesn't need a home?
But
a teacher needs a home.
Yes.
And every Ghanaian.
The bottom line is everybody needs a decent home. But the bottom line is that teachers deserve better in this country, quite honestly.
So that's where the argument is. And the argument is not about the provision of the home by government or by through a PPP.
Exactly.
The argument
has
to do with
the service conditions of service, BBI fire.
The argument has nothing to do with government coming to
we
provide.
don't expect say employers ever compare no. What must I say? It would have been a level playing field.
Because look, if Senka Yepe teachers welfare a year, we should be paying them better. We have degree teachers who are teaching at basic schools who are taking as low as 1,800, 2,100.
Now, what no?
I know. I'm hoping, sir. Guy, no friend, no. Ever catch us or no? Nice. What it is?
No. Debut. When you konya ma buy for a mouse school, quite radiant. Now over 1,080. Me say under 3 days. Obi friend, me say.
They are do Facebook now.
Aye. We are training college, but we onye ejuma nye. Enti no wakwa class bi no child. You to 100 cedis. Same. 100 cedis a month.
That's it.
Okay.
Now school
Mama need the PR for not in income. Mr. Peter Koda in income money and about the issue to do with the homes that is going to be provided for them and what they make of the announcement, their involvement in all this. No, Mr. Koda, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Now, I know what I'm saying.
Yes, I don't know where number John's why.
You come in crack. And I pay the Yati 10,000 affordable housing units for a year a teacher for. And I you see Mojin saying,
you, but I say, which you were here for you answer. Sempa, Emsa can memory, I can say, Obi and Cassette for a Sempa Ecodo. It is a Oman Penny or the first gentleman of the land. Abba, I bet you knew to a Cassasimia, a idea, Yagino, and EGSO.
Opani, I didn't know about this project because all kind of air stories now just say it started rolling out, and so if we are talking about mortgage opportunities, if we are talking about subsidized loans, it would mean say a teacher for as association you know much more about this project. I didn't know for project we home.
You have no call credit.
All right. It happens. It's one of those things. And we'll try and re-establish contact now after but Sefa, you're on the floor.
I was on the floor. You see, the basic issue has to do with the way teachers are remunerated in this country. And it tells of a country that does not entirely, and I have to be blunt, entirely value its education. Because look, in this particular case, the story mentions there are two options: rent to own and mortgage. Now, if even Soka mortgage, now some of the banks are maybe many FI na mortgage which will elapse 25 years. They catch us the monthly premiums there was a bro teachers for only be salary no more so. And even if you're going to help in subsidizing crown on our case or could you have then find say ABA a bank be say or j mortgage a monthly premium 2,100 na kasa buy offer halfa 1,050 meboa oko isa 1,050 no every teacher ni salary no mu a ahena aka. So let's
Mami, Bisa, Mr. Koda is back on the line. Mr. Koda, Fache, but you're welcome back to the conversation, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yo, Nami Bisa said, dear Namunim about the project so far.
Near Chinese as an association, yeah, take a lot of initiatives, sir. You beat me, IABB on our own, nama, teacher for. Now, so it's a very capital intensive indeed. A lot of things are still in the pipeline, but nearby the by you want to say a abattoir point fee. You're not be discussing it exhaustively because your salary as against proposal na eban. Yeah, say a bit boying and sebe boying a bit some to yajin a felso. Now, so no, in Yasi is in Kunya home. You nim set or can ono mu no oya we se o si kunwa ho ye ya no baba ye wo na ye ndie we are coming from the position of ye beboa ye members. That is all.
Opani not to say semetwase until the announcement at the 53rd National Delegates Conference no na a teacher for munim bibi about this scheme by government.
Yeah, kase teacher for nyina once they always work with the leadership of the various unions. And definitely they drop hints of what they intend to do. But the details are always given after the statement is made. Because Nipanama was supposed to be behind the scenes. But on my out to make that's what we see as the situation now.
Of the priorities are teachers for Muono. Is housing or would housing be your topmost?
To be honest with you, housing is a very, very top priority when it comes to our field. You see, because once a year I establish teachers fund. The teachers fund I establish an aspect of it in Emma who can say your friend habitat loan. I am who can say ultimate besia if you want kakran or the chance say we see dying. I know the importance we place on housing. Every single member of NAT there. Obeko retirement and not all retire into your own home. Sani asishano. It is a BBC about make a way at the show say idea a here part idea prioritizing as teachers.
Opani now will be an advanced argument if the teacher is well paid, the issue about affordable housing and subsidized loans for them doesn't come in because the teacher would be able to afford, a loan or start his or her own building project. So position, what do you say?
All over the globe, there is no country anywhere Kabakacho say the salary I receive is enough. Obienya enka. A man more than what he or she receives. And the plain truth is that say the salary shall even double what you receive now. Now say unye obi unim how to manage the salary no krana. Ubetimi as any now within the months untimi entibin to ho say odebe would be sidai. Yes sir ubenya obi o push you in a certain angle. Emma, why committed to doing it? It's a necessity. Bah. Nemono, being human, no. A two boy it may relax kakra, mammy kakra, kabe 5 years in my retirement, mammy. It is when a policy comes up, a bit me more starting in term, not in no time, what may be enough our problem was over. Yeah, our too, because a year salary in the year, send a medical can be anyone salary sono. Obia throughout. Be anyone salary. So what Tom said they are so no. My policy be say ba a boa a manipulating the end term a chance say bia or to na ketu yamukra or betting the eye.
Opani at Samo conference, the hint also came said there'll be a salary adjustment 7% salary adjustment. And also, as teacher for Muhuni saying,
oh, I'm saying, as I say, no, you can say 4 and 7, no, in Yayaka, a boroso. I'm saying, will be any some.
Yeah,
Yayaka 7%, when the Yanya assigned that day, 4 and 7, the Yayaka, more than that. But Anya baby, into the young cry over spilled milk. Nemoni, going forward, you know. A better say, a bino, a beboa, and yet teacher from corners are 4 and 7% affecting all public sector workers in the country. Into a better say, going forward, you know. Since I have needed not COVID in Yamanoko from Kakra. Na Yachimi, I could D and Gitahua Bema at a Giantumuno, a quite much and senior, you for last year and this year, 7% Ebasha Yajuman.
You better say, Mr. Peter Koda say, Oje Menani Edin Commando pay.
That's what I must say.
Not for PRO and Yanino Edin Comoy Efa, the announcement to say you visit 10,000 affordable housing units for a teacher for Yababaka, Yadani and Waba Yaba. Na Edin Comona na Yera educational sector nedia. Yadi tell for strike no ebe box no. Na yadi UTAC for intended air strike no so yadi a box no. Na afe no yasha se ebisa say, how did we get here? The National Labour Commission for will work their phone lines to see if we'll get them and speak to them. UTAC for will work the phone lines and speak to them. Tell for will try to understand what is driving them to drop their tools. Not forgetting say on our table as well is the issue of the removal of the 30%, 50% benchmark valuer. Traders and the importers one more enjoy at our port per the release that came on the 30th of December 2021 from the GRA, no, and it was supposed to have kicked in. It's been removed. Stay with us. We're feeding out 2 hands here. We are live on Esim 95.9, 100.1, and Afe live on ETV, live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, live on Happy 98.9 FM. Yema Kwaba Medini Edit Samuel Shem. Minia Herbert, Abekam is the player. Yade sports updates no every month for. But even before that, I encourage you to join us with a few comments if you do have. And share them with us. Kaise and a midweek edition of the show here. Now your best and Omukakra, and so I entreat you to follow us. But there is this important news that I need to give you. Abra Yedisa and common way in Anam. Se Obakaya last year and the chance year Bohunderu giddy mass wedding a basso on the 14th of February. Mass wedding a basso on the 14th of February. Yasha Afiasano. We had a couple of people walk into the house, into the station. One more say, as much as a year deadline for the purchasing of the forms, Naswono, one more the added dear ever to your name. One more anti announcement, no anthem. And to almost say, person motor forms. And into no, Sanka, you bet me atom forms, Nibia, Edia more. But at the time, near close to a form a year acquisition, and management at Nasi, more than 5-6 people. One more ever hands here. No more some person warrior. One more take advantage. No more warrior. You pay for just 500 Ghana cedis. Now what of form now? Our end who no many na me chirichiromu near funny na eho eka. Enti empanyimfo etna here. Na one more adwindwene ho efa the plea that have come from some people interested parties on person warrior no. One more see and can't Ghana for say see mass wedding forms no panyimfo etie mu asem na wo mo se yasanso abiemu ya extended on till the 18th of January. Enti maamene ne ho kani to be a mobile eba adwuma mu hanom say mo be stress nka forms no nke yen sanso nton forms no onyame etie mu mpaebo. And the others who also came. And if you are also interested in getting married this year on the 14th of February or do Edda Valentine Day na minia, pay attention. You have up till the 18th of January to walk to Happy FM ETV. Our salam da how we say. Oba now call reception honma. Odi ka say oh minia me pacho mass wedding and am person de me ho e be shemu. You pay your 500 Ghana cedis. Ti asem de. Wuti 500 Ghana cedis a wo oba no and Papa Mobeshe, your family car. oba ne gown ye fa ho ka be ma ne suit ye fa ho ka makeup ye fa ho ka ka mo betene mu de akoye dondo ye fa ho ka baby a mo be reception ye fa ho ka aduane a mo be de ye fa ho eka video pictures a ye betwa ye fa ho eka umpewe na apeden enti I encourage you say somewhere there has been an extension to the 18th of January, as a result of the plea that had come from some prospective couples, Minia, ye biatum, Rashi, Nebra, ETV, Happy FM, never far forms, na yenkoja, nenye, dondo, near 2 flowers in the gumuso, near 2 flowers no edigumuso. Na de ayana me, I am a jealous kakra, any honeymoon, baby, or no. Mo sha kosomu ho baby na pictures ni ba no mo da boat ni so na wo mo hotel, nice hotel, all paid for by Happy FM. Now to me say no energy de enti me nia men ko ha ho na nko spend 5,000 10,000 20,000 say wo kwakoware just walk to Happy FM oba tia 500 Ghana cedis utia 500 Ghana cedis ni bia wo ware no ho kan nyina no yafa umpewe na apede Herbert ma membra ho no mtzen bibia aboko woni age ho yes emu odin ho wow
happy 500 Ghana kekebe registration na I think say asempa e de ma wa wutie na wa wo hwe we say our photographer ka okopenka
so enu ni asem no
1,500 2,000
yes sisi a no copy photographer ma be twa word crack wa ma soft copies no wa print be ye enum anase enai bi dia ma se omfa mbom dem ho no ma wutua 2,000 Ghana cedis enu ni ye photo keke infoni amutwa aduane obedi ehun nsem nyina emamu enti mesrew wutie mi anope ya Rashi Nebra Happy FM ya extended a date for picking the forms till the 18th of January me pacho akwenya ewo hon ma wetimi aba no obefa forms mentwentwe wo na ase mo ba hanum say I think about 5 of you are some of you I witnessed myself mesremo ma desire de no empanyimfo atie wo mo bie mo till the 18th of January 2022 brana befa forms na afi no yenko boa na yenshira awade no eso enti we ayasem da anopay yede ema omanfo new year achede kese pa ene yede ama omanfo no Herbert finance anopay
sports update Mrene Drusu on the Happy Morning Show. We'll share me live. Our ETV Ghana. That would see me so live on Happy 98.9 FM. Yamfa akopo mamunsem embra odia na enchebiana Africa Cup of Nations no babe eshasi na the Black Stars eguso e Doha. Omo the preparations ehye so ndra no Milovan rival etimi receive good news as say there the star players na etimi abedru camp Abrante Thomas Partey enchebia osiaka edema Arsenal and Man City game no abedru camp Daniel Amate so abedru camp Baba Idrisu osiaka and Mayoka and Mohamed Barcelona Asia over the weekend and also abetimi abedru camp na captain Andre Dede Ayew and then Jordan Ayew omo nyina etimi abedru camp Siano Black Stars in your full house omuguso prepare ahead of the tournament and then I can see Bako Ebeko say the senior national team and defending champions Algeria be share a friendly game Bako no omutuni na they are testing so ready for the Cup of Nations a game no ebebaso Education Soccer City Doha now Happy Sports the live commentary ebebro game no 4 p.m. the live commentary ebebro happen if Black Stars akachia yenko PM heart of folk na ndra no betu just say left back Radi Ovuka Congolese soldier no is wetimi akopiem New Mexico United na hono kwakọ one year loan deal or call adjoining side no on the 1 year loan deal na no and I say betu just say Sisiano there has FPL left back for Sisiano former Ebusia Dwarfs captain I friend no Dennis Kosa no hono mo di omani ache so betimi akọ Dennis Kosa no be replace Radi Ovuka na and that's on the Ghana Football Association and I betu just say it has and Asante Kotoko game match week 7 game amu postpone no Sisiano ebeba so on the February 20th February 20th a game no everybody so the Accra Sports Stadium to the first super clash of the season no mon share no mon fa date no the entrance to baby February 20th they say the Val's Day we are na na big side cheche me no ye mass wedding ni we are 6 days time now the super clash no so no the air share so you free Heart of Folk and Asante Kotoko catch a yenko piemu we Diana Stars na over the weekend omu lusu to Asante Kotoko match day 11 of the Ghana Premier League. Kotoko itimi try Diana Stars come you know omo intimi ante no na one of their key players Yaya Mohammed they are chopper pa they are betu just osre Diana fans na omo form boni enchom yenko tie ndra one put so no nsemo ni odi asempa.
That is football for you. Football there, no matter what, you say we experience those things. Say you need can call question first. We one say almost so break record. What's a football here? What the better now? We move forward. I can't net also, but it's unfortunate. Say I'm creating via na kotoko. Fans nene. Team Rano or Sajafo never said and say on can come and to him now on fancy. And yet, and yet, ye fenono, not the fenny but that very Saturday, no dear, the Yamepeno and or ye, you young fast that man Yamina and should you matches now can. Oh, we share match no Ankasa, which me say. Kotoko na omo wasoro chen ebiana ya mo bo na ye wo say ye bo no senia oni mediana na nyasa na da very day no ye nya ye game ntino Kotoko funa me bo ma ba so they took their chances very well and they deserve it to correct our mistakes and bounce back.
We ensema brantie Yaya Mohammed Lukaku edu ja ewo ndra one put so no na yekopie mu ewo amano no dia na Romelu Lukaku e de achopa kese pa de akoma Chelsea fans enche bia do de nsebeke kansem hunu bi eche club na e mu game mu ni Liverpool no Thomas Tuchel etimi drop in no na o de achopa kese abetu ja so Chelsea fans the Blues osremo nyo nsem no kind one kan na monfa ne bone enche no yenti nsema ndra Romelu Lukaku edu ja.
For the fans, I'm sorry for the upset that I caused. You guys know the connection that I have with this club since my teenage years, so I totally understand you guys being upset. Obviously, it's up to me now to restore your trust, and I'll do my best, show commitment every day on the training ground and in the games, trying to make sure that we win games. And yeah, also to the manager, I apologize, and also to my teammates and the board, because I think. It was not the right moment also, and I want to move on forward from this and make sure that we start winning football games and I perform for the team in the best manner.
Nsema King Luka Edatuja say Chelsea fans osremo won find the bonny and channel no defender back Antonio Rudiger into Yabane say Real Madrid are withdraw interest from the center back no na Rudiger no this season and the contract beba every year na clubs be brave peno ewo Europe na Real Madrid one of the teams are na omodino china so no into Yabane say Real Madrid atwe omho e dey free and ho teams with say Juventus omo na omani e jo so me sign Antonio Rudiger in the summer na free Real Madrid and Antonio Rudiger and sem na yenko piem so Liverpool na omo de application e dey akoma Carabao Cup in 24 say nya ade a omo game omo ne Arsenal be si otena nyame ya adom semi final no nya ade omo betimi ahona sa fixture no in some other you say o come camp na COVID-19 cases no ya ade a ekoso ye pa and Tuesday nya ade omo timi ye training to omo say omo game omo ne Arsenal e be si ye Carabao Cup semi final ka say battle Thursday ne dey e be am 24 intimi postpone game no so na emfa mo no ye Liverpool ani ko pie mu so Atletico Madrid no ma brantie baako Kieran Trippier and Assisian Newcastle for any abrese in this winter transfer window no omo person mutimi assign no oba na back to England no besi akan emfa emomona game back so ebe cost when there that is the EFL Cup and as a Carabao Cup no semi final Chelsea and Tottenham and the Ombesia kind of game no ebe so 7:45 p.m. One big game Antonio Conte make a return to the Stamford Bridge and say obetimi apeke a win na before me free and my for tennis in December according to Johnson me free Asiana Novak Djokovic and Assisiana there ya granting a medical exemption Australian Open e beba so no a month we am no and obetimi akosi akan e wo ho no Djokovic no why na drink so no the vaccine aye wo no enya de obetimi aye den awobi ono de osanya de na ni je ho nti organizers no a granting a request say obetimi aye de esi akan e wo tournament no so nanso enya de a obewo eye COVID-19 vaccine ni bia nti ha na mede sports update no ebesimi amede nsem ne bro from Herbert Boachi ya do be ko break e bar Big Sam e ni team no ebeto aso.
Back to the Happy Morning Show live on ATV, live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. Let me say a very good morning to a dear friend, a brother who lost a sister when the year started. My friend, my brother, Ebenezer George. Charlie, Eben, condolences. You lost your sister, I think about 2 days ago. Charlie, Minia, be strong, be firm. Minim say I may not be able to feel the pain you are feeling. To lose your sister is no joke. But all I would say is, be strong. And so the rest of the boys, Freddie, your best friend, Ahmed, Isa, SK, Deco, Johnny, all of us, condolences from the members of the notorious Domsi group, wishing you the very best today. And condolences to you, my brother and friend Ebenezer George. Yet also they are. Now, some comments have come through. We'll take the time to go through them. But on the pay, cheesy, Sifa, you're kind of saying?
Cheesy pizza.
Yes. Cheesy pizza. For CN Cancho says, yeah, the East Legon for no Matwedi. Papa. One more ABBA East Legon branch, and they are ready to serve you. One more above the Compute Ghana, American House Junction, Honma, East Legon. A home base be I would do baby first near one about no 10 left now. Chinese a be ho. What do you defend the boomfu? A correct papa and then doso. A honor not those times I need passion horn easily.
The Wakami joint business so and the Chinese restaurants
a boomfu. Who may be a worker? Who may be a Ufi bank no honor now? Ufi bank no honor now. Now, o 10 right say. Almost say immediate 10 honor.
Thank you.
Oh, you're champion. Mention a mouth for no more than you see honor.
David.
Now, bring him a day gay tea. I mean,
Brunya. Now,
before the Brunya, let me correct it. Something is a mean Pientino before the Brunya. And I'm the gay tea. And there's evidence, there's documentary evidence to that effect. And I'm the gay tea and I'm the Neko share. Baby. I'm sure. Why not wine?
Wow.
Wow. Not the manager sorted. What you say? Nah. So what him say? Go me home, etame home. Until I so slow initial stages in I so slow until so first or so mom brand coke. And the coke when I'm trap picture and I'm say we see. Or say trap picture no. Until who said no I didn't etame home. As a video watch wine or Italian wine I don't know watch back one more year PPR and I'm saying the Chinese go so. Bomeka metia. And I'm mad bomeka kakra. Chinese. I'm mad bomeka kakra. Maybe I'm you. Obertimenka. That is to say Momo will cry.
Okay. It's a woman this year.
And when you was him. Nkomo na mudi.
Okay.
Menka say betutu ma me ne say oh yeah, if say journalist e wo show so. Information and am dey ma wo. And one no. And if obi anjin di say oye no ho say ne ote ye no say I say me ne na anko no. There's evidence. Meet me pictures in the chairman for.
Sir.
Yes, of course. Okay. And KJ Ray we say me dey get na pie.
Okay.
You know, and there any problems are.
Na mpacho mu pie no mu adonko.
Me say information am dey ma o.
I na me be say mu pie no mu adonko next level premium energy drink.
I saw you say me shall say about me for adonko and shall say.
Okay, all right.
We need vim and vigor to work.
Thank you. Ntini am men country tifo ni afo say open energy drink papa betimi am wagina brane am watimi edi dwumadie bi a wudi pepe dia. Dwumadie bi se wa betina eye TV so ni radio so na wo kasa.
Okay.
Na uwia wo konante kakra kwa kope fufuo bi edi Ampax etire ho.
Menya sport bi wo down here.
Eno no ye me amenyonko na ye wasumen. Na ye wasumen we de ba bia wo bia Belgium na wo. Ma me fantia tenten pa mfa ma wo. Una na utimi ema Ampax eduane die eya akono. Report da na oti Ampax. Ya twaso na the
we are okay Belgium na wo no. We ma dey eva ma dwene. Who say titino no mo konyuma. Otina.
Mo
dey about se fa dan kwa. Italy na wo. Abontis.
Italy abontis.
Greetings from abroad. Zabeka no so. Cry the abontis na mi na make say hi UK. Anyway, asylum down abontin so na ye way ahaye ETV Ghana yanto aso na mamenkai o say adonko next level premium energy drink nko na open energy drinker ebetimi aboa mo agina brand ebetimi aboa wo ama wo edi ujuma yi a na tell say o say unya adonko next level premium energy drink kai say proteins wom sanso na vitamins wom kai say eno na se watoba ha kakra ana se wadjuju se bunto akaja na se gontomre din so hia gusu dia bomodin a na copy adonko next level premium energy drink ni bi na nom na gina pintin aha na me makoko se woni mfie du ngotwe a mesro hwe no wankwa ankoben ho ankwa ngoto bi anom oye oba no afa afuru ana se o mabofra no fu a mesro engongo pebi nom oye obi a oye sensitive to caffeine a mesro hwe no wankwa ankope bi anom hwe numbers ni nie je na koto bi nom ana se onsu koto bi na kokoton na nya ehon fa so 0204 898698 0592 610998 adonko next level premium energy drink no aha no limit anti onu madonko no say adonko na your favorite beverage for the year 2021 Mr. There is an opportunity for you obetimi ama yabo adonko manufacturers no abaso. I'm talking about the Ghana Beverage Awards. The Ghana Beverage Awards, no. Yeah, the Brown you can go to Abefontin Tankes here www.GhanaBeverageAwards.com. www.GhanaBeverageAwards.com. No akwa nominate your favorite beverage. Said be ya brand so e betimi abana ba. So open munchire mu number betimi afrenie 0202222095. Kai say terms and conditions apply. Ghana Beverage Awards, inspiring excellence in Ghana's beverage sector. Mamem Kyle say NCA betu just say in free October ekope meye bosome a ye kowramu na chi make March. No the na say o SIM card no watimi abomoden akwa registration no foforo. You need to re-register your SIM card with a national identification card no eno was utimi ye. Se wanye na se ebreno so 31st of March 2022. Na se wantimi use SIM card ni bi wa na enkobo obi asobo. Na te se wanye osun tie. Kai se unsa beka Ghana card no na wa dial star 404 hash. Na with the Ghana card no number no de ahye ho ode udin ahye ho sanso na date of birth ene with gender say bia your ba na so your be ma no so no what de ahye ho na trese eno anu no uwia obetumi abomodin akọ confirm say ampampa no registration no go through from your service provider and now open mun chiremu amesere wani di mu a toll free number wo ha betimi afre na wagin chiremu 0800-110-622 any NCA toll free number betimi afre na wagin chiremu na so betimi akọ abefo ntentan www.nca.org.gh nti eno no se wan register na se ebre no so na wo sim card no wan to me use bi wa na kire se eno ano no na meme de saa se muminim se ye ba mebusa big sam asem ba ko ho na magina dwen kire because me ro binum tifia wo mu ntimi nkwankwa registration nti eno no telcos no na se NCA ene no mo ya fa ho eno ye bidi ho nkomatiri na oye bema na se ebreso se o kwa akọ egu nsuo na ugina ho behwe na nsuo ya wugo ya ba mu apa mienu obeti ya se o pipe ni mienu mesere onya pipe mienu wadun so twa no ye ntwa mu mienu mesere wa ai yade ene bo nkaye no ukọ na akoko gina ho na wo dwunso na ze wadi mu emu ka odwe na ze aya to de bia ni nipa ben ho a wontumi mfe wosen na wo ye
obekasi medidi natem meko ka obekasi medidi natem
de bi se de o ma tro gu na me na junso twa
meko ka meko ka obekasi ye na akọ ne didi matem
we na ni ka say
de bi se o se me se de o ma tro ho no
wanga sa do wini wahi
o se
wini wahi
minyini wo
se no se ne o ka no aha
minyini wo ekuase na adunso ahwefo adunso twa
ese anu I was say no na ye de no kokakwa na mafu no mo yeshu
adunso twa na meka ho asemu
entu dia no meka che ne say asem na meka no meka che say ya pa what sa o si me medidi na tem
da bi nya tem didi e say okay o de ma mento aso ni ento ade na trese se de na meka no me sentimu bio wadwunso twa no nyankopon wa moni mienu emmo mienu me sero ndi se wo kodwunso na se bedwunso na eba no emu apa mienu a ebo okokose wo se wo prostrate no utimi edi hu ejuma se de ebe ya enko wie ne bone so na wo pe clinic ba ko a wono no obaga na mamu a saa ensensem no wotimi edi hu juma na saa yare wono wotimi edi hu juma na ne G&G Herbal Clinic or Ghana's #1 prostrate disorder treatment center ewa ha yen ya adwen ya krado sese wo de wo prostrate disorder eba yen chenkwa de yen hwe ema wo nko no saa kwa na wo ba enye enonkwa na ye hwe ya de fufuro bi tse sciatica stroke erectile dysfunction any hemorrhoids eno koko erectile dysfunction be ma kire se wo no entimi enyina so yie no eno so yetimi eboawo ema utimi esori ejina so brane se de be ya enwumre no obetimi abomodin edi dwuma ne yie eno no bomodin na bra G&G Herbal Clinic na ohwe akira kwan ayewo eye Ashoman Estate musuku kwan so ehwa na yewo near the eye Goil filling station nti ohwe akira kwan ho ne yewo na ope ye number no afre na watimi abayaso ya me asa oyade a eno ni 0558 595032 0558-595032. G&G Clinic prostrate treatment mu Paulo ama entem nti we ene eye edwasem kakra mede ebebro ene anopai
yet also there na ye ma ye ho akwa ba ebadwumedi so we have 20 more minutes before we hit the top of the hour. 8 happy morning show no aso so awuti wo hwe ewo ETV Ghana and so now we are coming to the conversation na yedi enkomo earlier, and which has to do with the various agitations in terms of strikes. Various institutions have hinted, some already have started. Enkomo afi eshasia nisa. One UTAC for one more beginning, one more strike. I believe if I'm correct, on the 10th of January 2022. 2 for a strike ashasia. And Sefa also really said anesthetists no so they near the bank.
They are in their fourth day.
They are in their fourth day.
Obi ko wo na say o say any CS kra na.
Ontimi nya.
Yeah. But what are the issues? UTAG is saying the University Teachers Association of Ghana has set notice of a fresh strike to begin the academic year. The strike schedule for January 10th, according to them, follows the government's continuous failure to meet their demands for better conditions of service for well over 3 years. Speaking to Assistant Network, Dr. Samuel Nkumban, President of the University of Ghana chapter of UTAG, explained that though unfortunate, the union has had to take this decision to get government play its role in ensuring that what they deserve is given them. Then let me quickly jump to the issue of TEWU and find out what is driving them to also put down one more eduma and enomano and also yendi and enkomo. Was it over 35,000 members of the Teachers and Education Workers Union TEWU will withdraw their services from today, despite the plea by Otu-4-72 for unions to use dialogue to resolve its concerns and not strike. The minister said we should liaise with the Ghana Education Service. We have engaged them. In fact, in the wisdom of the management of GES, they said let us put together a technical committee to look at the issues and give appropriate recommendations. We are in January 2022. The committee has not even met, let alone to make recommendations for its consideration. So we feel that this feet dragging is purposeful, maybe to deny our members of this right, and that is why we think that we must push and move to the next step where that will compel management to sit and conclude any discussion with us on this matter. And to tell you for Eduma to form an answer. So far, a story of one more almost studio Eduma at from 3-4 days in with me at the Kakra Ama for
Ebema me akonya kakra ma menko na memfa yes story ne emre etifo ne ahwefo na me hu sa story no ewo me say citynewsroom.com wo strike no enters day 4 eno enso asemo a efa strike actions a mvan say ye share afiase no ahyase a eba no mako enti ma memfa stories no story ne emre etifo enini was say the Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthetists have given an indication that it will intensify its ongoing strike action until its concerns are addressed. Checks by Sister Nation at various health facilities in the Ashanti region show that many surgeries are being referred to Okonfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, whilst others are being rescheduled. Following the withdrawal of their services, the leadership of the association is expected to meet the Christian Health Association of Ghana, CHAG, to find a solution to their concerns. The National Public Relations Officer of the group, Seth McAndor, says that members will only resume work after a successful deliberation. Nti uko eye Asante Mantemu a na jese omo withdraw omo services uko eye Puye Mantemu a omo withdraw omo services uko eye Mfimfini Mantemu a omo withdraw omo services uko eye Frau Mantemu a omo withdraw omo services o jese baby bia befa bia no omo withdraw omo eye services. Nti we ni ensemo a free omo so omo nchan eba sami.
Well, quickly, shase na yendi enkomo on this matter, Mr. Seth McAndor in Nkomo, where PRO Emma anesthetist no in command pay. Mr. Ando, good morning.
Good morning, Minya Penny.
Na anom Zano pay eja.
Nyankopa domine mo paibo ye hoye pa.
Opani mode madwuma ato fom. Obetimi a cheche mu de ntia mode madwuma ato fom.
Yo Minya medawase anopay. Megidi yese yensa no de ya brosu bia na emo mebo modin na mabɔ ne tofa kakra bia mo na masan esisu dua magana fo nyina tiase se saa entokwa wo ya yekun anase oye strike ya yekun no for the first time we enye sika na ye pefi aban ho no we enye yakatua entumu ana yepe enti na ye we no. Now, for the first time, no, yes, I had the way even to protect the Ghanaian public. Yes, I had the way to make sure, say, we safeguard the health and safety of every Ghanaian. And until the sir, me kind of say, no, then ye, say,
About the same Momo safeguard your friend is saying the safety and health of Ghanaians are more for striking. Get you say a group and pens will be an 120 square. And I said, penny for say, see, ye the yo 9 year that in yaw fire. And I said, ye were ye bonnet, ye were ye, a bonnet one can say it's the most one, definitely nature say a because one ye. Now, anything medical and dental council, ye, anesthetic, ye regulator. Medical and dental counseling, Omonanka, say, protected the public. No more safeguard a professional. Then so no, a camia say, say, Juma, medical and dental council, woman, I just say, Oma lose sight, and that's almost focus. Crown, a Juma crown woman yet. And one say, ye, this is Kama woman, was a fit every year beyond on Yakutia. 330 Ghana cedis. Sicaradano, a year 3.3 million. And if that is a Ghana, Henina, Yakutia, you don't go here, pay 1,500. And Jenny could chase common manner, and one also your license so, and one name and near man, I can say, name dear, a cost with simply waiting on Oman yet. You can suddenly be still now Oman yet. Name a dear, a here pan say ye curriculum na ye disua de wo school no say obi ba ya anesthesia e so okosua de ye wo niema ahodo wo school e so okosua na odi ba e de be boa Ghana fo na de tie ne say abra yen ye guso ne medical and dental council ka say adesua na ye sua no sisi anim de ekọ animu ntino omoma ye so yen kọ animu say de wo kọ abrochie ne Kenya ne Rwanda ni ada nkunkure wo Africa hanu nyina no eko manim yeso yenko animu yakabia no omu de omu yenko animu nemomu omu asa ma yanko animu no minia wonye bebia ma wase a won sam mo ne ko no omu asa ma yanko animu afi omu tie curriculum no so na eche say afi die anesthesia wo Ghana hanko ano ababa ye sub standard na se be sub standard a minia die tie ni eche say sisi ano se me anesthetists wo Ghana hanoma internationally I will not be recognized because my dear meet international standards. Enti me anesthetists wo Ghana ha minti min ko practice wo abrochi ana se Africa just say go kura etwe enwachia eni nyina minti min ko practice nemom obi fi South Africa ba Ghana ha obetinya be ya anesthesia obi fi US obetinya be ya obi fi Canada UK be bia obetimi aba be na fe almost as well slash curriculum na say oye tiso no omo hwan so no implication ni bi nsusu nie e kire say enne me no wo kasa dia bi school no mawie enti nimdia na me wo na wo betirimu nemom every 3 years any 5 years ba no afi said ye me obi ba you operation me make sure say sa nipa ko no meje ne nkwasi ho no obi operation me make sure say enye ne ya na obi free theater ho no wa bra sabi onko wu nti no sa minua na o free school beba no wono ontimi nye sabi me yi ene ani yesese debi sa de weje ye ya ebe ku Ghana fo efise nimdie ko animu na nimdie ko animu no ade ehie o school no mo afa bia nka ho aye sa ko nkote so
alright
ye guso minua me pacho we de mebo ye guso kasa asem we na no na medical dental council chesa omo de omo nte se odogo bi kwenu na be na afi omo de document bi e fe no scope of practice medical dental council the saadie we aba no mo de saadie we ba he no minua ade wo mo ne say apart from the fact say saadie na wo scope of practice na medical dental council de aba no e be kill ye profession e be gu ye profession ni mu ase e be bre ye profession na se no de wo ba ko so ne say ade bi e fe no labor analgesia first no bi ko wa na se na ya se be ne ya ko si se oba wo wie but enam se nimdia akoso ne ntino labor analgesia e ka ye curriculum na se niema yesua ntino sisi ano oba awo ka no ofie na obnya du hospital ho se kim na nye operation po ana ye be ye no kra na oba anesthetists ye wonu a ye de ma no ana se mpanye dia ye be wo no afa die ya wo na wo fa mu ni nyina e betwam nua sa de we oba tan be pa na se ye nua ba bia na se ye nua ye yire no mo bia wo kwa wo so be pa na mpe sa de we medical dental council and scope of practice we so person mo kire say Ghana for de ye nyina ye mfata say ye de betimi anya saa de we ye maame no ye betimi awo mo pane na se be mo maduro ma wo mo ya wo no adu wo mo nampo se betimi aye ade we wo Ghana ha kwa na enkonko ye kolebu anase konfo no chinko a na ekire say Ghana ni a ono de wontimi kokolebu Ghana ni a wontimi konfo no chi no ekire say ono saa leba anagizia we ade we a aba e ba bedum ye maame no ma batan ye nuanom ye yire nom ye wo mo keka ho no e ba baji wo mu no medical and dental cancer person mo kire say o mo de mo mfata saa leba anagizia we ye nkoso a ma o mu nkopin mu o mu fa oya o mu ekosi se o mu bawo anya say no we will have none of that na sa scope of practice we bi mo so sa so kire say o mu kwa awo so a o mu ntimi nwo no ye fe no ye koyo mo operation fe no cesarean section no eno so no anesthetic se o Ghana hanom ye ne ehwe ma saa ni nyina ye ma anesthesia e ma ye saa operation no sa ye ni ho no ma te se na ye ko strike no saa operation no entimi nkoso medical and dental council the scope of practice we abai ba be kire say parliament nyaji tum say kim e kire say cesarean section bia ye wo Ghana hanom bia no ye fa nko konfa no che anase kolebu ne fa nko ye obi awo ko na na wodi pai se bi se bi ne mo je nyunu na say ye emergency na say obi ye watamali ana say ye no operation no wo yendi ana boko ana say boy na vrogo no medical and dental council na scope of practice ye kire say ye fa sa ye nua ba no entu kwan free boko ana say na vrogo ho no mo sa efamna Ghana hanom efamna konfo anochi ana say kolebu ye na me sa operation we minia bia na wo de wonim se de emergency ya nkasa sitie na obi a na wo de apai okwo na wo de apai no ogina owuo ne enkwankwanta eto da ya na bia owo just 30 to 1 hour per to survive because uterus no be bleedia ko se de pakono bewu it is hani pa no even from kolebu anase from navogo anase even from sunyan mpo ba konfo no che kwa no ya how many hours na wodi nipa no fi be Ghana ha mia nyina ye de aba konfa noche anase kolebu anya se da saa de we de ye gi tuma enye ye because ye tenase na ye gi saa asem we tumo kwa na ye ankasa ye di Ghana fo hwammo ana be ye ya ebe ya kuma so ya se nanka ade we ya ade ye betimi agi nipa no nkwa na nso na se ye hwe hwan ne ye tena ho no saa na nipa ko ye nipa konfa noche ana kolebu na oba bewu we ene nyema bebre ana ye se saa de we de enye ye enti ya dia sam kodon Ministry of Health ani cheche ni munyina ya ni minister koshiaye ani ye cheche minister sam ni nyina mu before that okay we the momento aso ye cheche minister no sam we nyina mu ba minister na tiase minister be hu se ampa asama ye kan eto aso na asama ye kan soso no ye trodo efise ye de hu krata asam me bibia document bia ye ma minister no ama minister na pamfo no omo hwe ni nyina mu ana minister na ye say omo kwa engage omo kwa ye broad stakeholder consultation na wa train ye call ye no anyeye ya train minister ye atwen e ma ye de ready sem e ko dan labor commission national labor commission na me fa sa wa konwa we so abo labor commission abaso if you say labor commission eti ya sem we na ye say labor commission say on share ministry no na ministry no emayen extension of your license na yentimi practice anesthesia because some medical and dental council no ye call ministry honom no ye di minister no any ministry na ka say ye mpese e be she medical and dental council asibiem e bi say e koso ahye o mase a saa nsam ya ye kan omo baba amana baba ye mra ama Ghana for aba bi enti no ye ahye o mase so de na ka say ye need license to practice enti no mo my license labor commission nam ni nyansa ne nim die so hu say ampa ya sem no to aso it will try to my ministry. Say the Ministry of Health and I said the minister no enfa and the form and sape 3 days. Often so for yasem way because anesthesia your service is essential and so critical. I say any say ye cost strike and I say any say ye jeja ye dwuma no kwa ye dwuma na se. Na menua se me no wo kase ebesi enne ye kase no ministry no enfre ye mpo no wa onfa yimpo no akase bia yensema ide bedi de nimu no yentena se na yenka enti ye de say se ministry ne fi say adwuma no hu hia na se ye hu hia ma Ghana dia ene ye nyina ye tie ba bi ekosi say ministry no ne Ghana fo nyina be hye ministry na mo hu ne say see any one me amount for a Ghana for a money, papa.
Minia, from the technical point of view, I'm sure sir explanations would have been given. Say why one more air cassette, Abia Kolebu, Abia Konfanoche. One more offer explanations.
Minia, explanation be ni one more name a ye fast and nipa kubi and as a nipa be 50 more Ghana Hanumono, or more interest, and another medical and dental cancer over the entire nation. Ye will Kofukubi Omono, almost ya anesthetics Libya, no mono confirmation one, Nicolebun no more. Now they want superiority over us, and no any say, Adiano Yentimi and yes, I deal with, nay, say confirmation ye deba, and as a Colebun ye deba, nay, say, ye Casadie, ye Casani, who say, Yentimi, ya bray of once, just ye name Jew from name Mumu, Omo confirmation, and answer Omo Colebun, Omo nim Jewoslo. Baminia, me kama mesisu dia say Ghana hanumu nyina sa kofuko 50 year make us omo kolebu any company chikwa no ye certified registered anesthetists ye nko for cry wo kolebu do so chen wo mu ye nko for wo company chikwa san do so chen wo mu enti no eventually ye de kokko no ma ye ya anesthetists certified registered anesthetists Ghana san ko ye adwuma no wo company chiwo anase kolebu hono na wo mu agi glory no anase wo magi hu sikedi eno apepepe na mesa ka
50
even apart from confirmation ni kolebu no Ghana hanumu nyina yen so we be operation yen you provide about 100% anesthesia almost 100% ye confirmation any kolebu free man you provide 100% of anesthesia ye di ma o Ghana hanumu ye operation na se ye de confirmation ni kolebu na nsa so ka ho a meaning you provide over 98% of anesthesia ye surgery or Ghana hanum. Enti ye juma we no, it can be overemphasized. Ye importance any ye hu here ewo health sector anymore cannot be overemphasized. But then medical and dental council serve the interest of 50 people na adwuma na nkasampo no wo monye no over the entire country.
Sir, 50 people we say only momo.
50 people we no almost anesthesiologist. Now the woman is saying before we buy anesthetist no, almost anesthetist saying ya. Now before we buy anesthetist no, nema mienu because a critical area no. I say over health sector ni mu dada. And sana na wonye nim die wo health sector ni mu and sakra na watimi akwa specializing in anesthesia. Na the woman say sa ade we no Ubaya, I just saw your doctor, and I say, we are nurse, and I say any other profession or health sector anymore. Ain't no doctors no, Omukoya anesthesia no, Omuna from anesthesiologist and as anesthetist no, Omuna ye 50 now, only in Confanoche and Kolebu Asa.
And it's these people that you are referencing, 50 people, no, I doctors almost specializing in anesthesia and outcome.
That's right.
But Mona, more infants be our nurse, our Kosia, and answer any other person, our Kosia, no. Mono percent one more sideline. Is that it?
Exactly. Percent almost sideline. And I say, percent, yen, you man, the yen Koswana, you, name, yen for glory, no, and I say, yen for Abasoboni, no, yen family, ain't no, wouldn't you say, Mijidi say, Ubekaya, Tif also Bekaya, bear 2 years in ye. Ye decided to make a strike because of a name change. Some go way per se. Ghana had na physician assistant. And yes, there be it just some way called parliament. And my parliament humra say, men my physician assistant because of the nature of the work we do. Any professional, men my physician assistant. Name yen certified registered anesthetist. Wouldn't you say a basin? You passing law no Act 857. You passing 2013. Na ebesin ne. Me no work as a union. Medical and Dental Council ebu Parliament enimutia. So omodie. All those Parliament are passing law say yen friend certified registered anesthetist. Ombe friend physician assistant sa ya ba besi na me no work as a. Na afei ade ba ko mo sa dre wo scope of practice ni mo so ne say. Se me wo boko. Se me wo sunyan. Se me wo doma Say me wo ehin fa me wo nsawo mu baby am wo Ghana ha bia Koforu dio wa hifo mahwe ama anesthesia na patient nada na maye bibia wie na mahwe say ne nkwa bibia na kuma ebo bibia ye kama na surgery na koso wie na surgery na fia chata epie na me am take responsibility say patient na me man na die no make sure say nyame adum ani nimdia no onwu obesore no wafa no ho asa afa ne ba no wasa akoni fie ne busu afa akodi ye se omoye no medical dental care na scope of practice we mo kire say maye sa de we nyina wie no me hwe patient no folders mu a me ntwe mu say me yes sa de we nyina no me assistant na emomu obi doctor bi o kolebu a minyim no da doctor bi o konfa no chia me hia na da che say minyim no me say folder no mu say sa ne ba kono ne ma anesthesia no ana me wo ha ya me de me nse na me mfata me de me nya nipa moja na me munti no me nkotwe say me assist nipa ko je nipa ko na ma anesthesia ana me bo ana ma na ye me hu aso me ana me ye sa ade no ne we asem wo ye ka wo hefa ye Ghana ha nkwa na betimi aka sa asem we wo ha.
All right, now my final question, the point you made about more standards in terms of certification per a scope of a year work on what you know. Entimi Emma won't me and Quamononi and as any other country and practice it. Sunday also practice it because you feel say it would have been lowered. A church and book a class sabia a infant sabia more certification, minim send your musty friend. Remember say a degree. Now, Siciano, the scope no Adebano, Manaba said, what's the results and answer?
A degree certification, no, a degree, a BSc anesthesia.
Okay.
Bachelor of Science anesthesia. Na the TNSN. Wogana Hanina, even Oma anesthesiologist here, ye come massimi, any ubia or health sector anymore, even other sectors saying no. E wo no ma wutimi kwa abuche ekogintete no kese advance one now diba. Because from udi ye degree na ye wo ha no ye betimi akoye masters wa abuche ye betimi akoye ubetimi akobo ye PhD in anesthesia e wa abuche na emomu de omo ye ne say medical dental care ye ne say ye curriculum no wati curriculum no so ntino instead of degree of BSc anesthesia na yede be ma no nemum ya tisunti no unu sa standard no nje be flow BSc ubenya certificate no BSc physician assistant and as a BSc physician assistant anesthesia na sa BSc physician assistant anesthesia no senne e bia be se me ko PhD wa abuchi na me sa de ba Ghana ha no ma me the certificate we do ho no mo beto atwene because minu almost standard no almost entry point na nkasa no kwa no me just say minu ho no mo kra na just say ye be disregard me kra and the fact say almost half a physician assistant no udu ho no ma o ba ye PhD o ba ye we o ba ye say o be specialize o ba once I was o designation na what dey ba na again udi e dey ama wo kru man nkasa what dey ba na again o ye physician assistant. Oh, you see, unya be a physician assistant. Not just say, in the first place, would you not qualify? Say, Omumpo be consider or your certificate now, there, but no mad, Mr.
Makando, you didn't competition a baby, you know. Mosha says 3-4 days in, you know. Monya feedback every penny for her as to the impact and the necessity for them to come to the table. So many made come.
Right, many I say. A fun impact today. I can assure you, and I met me on authority say, even 31st Nankasa, my dear, but chief first Nankasa Kwano, and an impact on SWLA. Because, when they say that most of us, take behind your phones, equine, a dear ye flow, emergency, you know. First, no impact on SRT say, bite hard. But then, I said, you know, a bit more person more try no massage situation no more making sure so more authority nankasa no what is actually happening. But I can tell you say yen you are no more slim 6 northern regions no omu kwade omu hu amane Ghana for nyina but what unfortunately say they are not in Accra and a ho nye Kumasi enti no eni she there ni honum but the honum anesthesiologists ya yekin ba ko kura ni that's how the 6 regions ya yekin enti no omo cases ni nyina CCI ye nko strike e bite omo very hard yen ankasa kura no eno kura na ma yem hyehye wo ho na ma menka bibi ti say hospital bi e wo boko aye Presbyterian hospital wo boko sei minia sa Presbyterian hospital wo boko no e 3 countries Ghana ka ho Togo any Cote d'Ivoire sa hospital no sisia operation nko so nyina no e che say omu funa mane Ghana fo e wo honom Cote d'Ivoire fo e beba honom Togo fo e wo honom omu nyina no funa mane e wo sa ade we but it's rather unfortunate say e honom nya akra e honom nya kuma senti enhu ni nemo even confirmochi ana say kolebu na nkasa kwa na omo say omu de yem kayem fa cases nem no omu no omu nye no na omu de Ghana ha nyina no omu ne betinya ya na si ya na nyen and na me no wo kase since the one and omu suspend all elective cases and I say cases are yebuki I just say omu suspend so cases no indefinitely omu nim time omu betinya ya cases no and the CCR no confirmochi take care of only emergencies the same way kolebu so for only emergencies na mo si ya hu hia enye ba ne say na afa de ye twe ho kakra bi emergencies nkwa na mo yi they say they can't do the job enti no ye de yes but enura nyankopon ya adom charge for Ghana Christian Health Institutions of Ghana omo executive director and the deputy and na pamfo bi omo invite en e wo mo secretariat e ma ye ni omo kwetena ase edi nkomo na ma say nkomo na ye di no na it was fruitful enti no the na wo no say omu be release her information to the ministry enti ene me no wo say we are just waiting for the minister and answer the ministry to call say yemra me ya no baba ye ne empe kwan bi so e be fa so e dey say we be see until so omu be ye ne de we just say see ya ana ye wo hono ni enim say be ho ni fa so enti no ye tena ye fie mu
Mr. Makando medo asana pesa o jembe na meeting komo
Meda sepa minia
Seth Makando ne edin komo PR ema anesthetists e wo man we say mu what they in 7 sene sitie no what they brain fati what you papa no
because I don't really understand the seeming power play and all that, but the only part I mentioned here say how is it possible? Say Obia on your present at a place. Yedi ejuma ebesheni dim so ono no ye ejuma no. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I thought say bia ebe to say a lab technicians there na almost we we ejuma na so do ko chire doctor no pass or kase
exactly.
But this one no is like the person is actually not there at all. Meanwhile, you agree and acknowledge the fact that the person can do the job and has done the job. If it is a matter of licensing and I say a matter of greater, money paninya further studies say. Not only baby I'll so what must say.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't quite get it. You need the person's services, but you don't want to acknowledge Nipani value, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the story. I have a family member, Kwame Jamra, or Bekwai Hospital, and that's what he does. Why in the first degree? Now, I think I was having a conversation with him, and that was the same issue. Bakando Kanye. That was the same issue, and now also Bosso say there are certain elements within certain quarters they want to undermine a first degree normal practice over a period of time, and they seem to be because of how essential it is in Inti. And almost said that nurse be Brazil. Inti hospital we be or no be quiet. Or a friend of Fenso, CBBS in Tibrabede, Bebois, Nabel Panier said there be a bit operation. Uncle had no panier. Inti they seem to be getting, wee bits, although a be I assign it to be quiet on your edgeman. A hono, and I am simple new for no. One more a war baby to say comfort not in the Colebuno. omo share that as because ono no wo ho or your resident. Oh, ono no your resident e wo ho. And then the argument of say omo enim dia no said that nisro because they've not done the studies for the 7-year period now. Ono no doctor na kwa akoye and afterwards wasan kwa akoye resident training the keke ka hono enti omo said that enim ade no. As Fatty mentioned, the only thing is let's grade it. Categories.
Because yenim nurses or my doctor.
Exactly.
Because go school go.
Exactly. Let's grade it.
You know, me I don't understand. Is there no like upgrade courses anywhere?
No.
To me I do level no. Because
no, but even
quite
that,
honestly, in all honesty too, in all honesty, studies are nurse akwakoye, and yes studies are doctor akwakoye. Ain't you know? Nurse ni entimi nkoye ni studies as a nurse emma na ye friend a doctor.
Right.
But there is
missing the
room
point,
for no,
you're missing the point.
point.
Work or hospital, work or school.
Yes.
I could train you as a medical doctor.
Yes.
And I was specializing
in
anesthesia. What you say? And general medical administration as a doctor. Then you decided say anesthesia na ukushia. Me so mako nursing school. But general nursing, meaning general nursing. But I have decided say I want to do anesthesia.
Exactly.
And he said, I 1 year, 2 years, and I'm this year as a now. Who doctor, what's your general practice as a medical doctor, where you have the advantage to free patient, you say. But then your specialty is in that. Why do I need an upgrade again?
No.
What am I making I say?
No.
Me feel the nursing. My profession is me a nurse.
Yeah.
But my specializing.
What I say, anesthetist be a anesthetist. Whether we a doctor, was specializing and nurse.
Of course,
we a
Fatty,
nurse.
that's the case they are making. That's the case they are making.
For me, Andre, yeah, this whole issue, cran, when you say broitre, you know, bibi sa akoso. Just this, Andre, yeah, I was on the net, I made sure. And then there was this argument about, say, anesthetists and your doctors and all that. And then one of them came and said, Okosuya dear 7 years just for this. Into your doctor. What I say? That's what I'm asking. Say, what is our training like? Yeah, your training is saying.
No, you see, Fatty, me in Kase, anesthetist a doctor. Because you are there to provide a service to the doctor in the operation room or where you it doesn't make you below a doctor. Or specialization, I don't know. Say, what you say? There's a doctor, I don't know, so maybe say, or a neurosurgeon. What the anesthesia assemble more when him so it doesn't make him say, be our was so chain will be a juma and I say will be answering Chobia. It's a complementary economic ayano. Oh, you're the media to support say we are ever coso. And brilliant, you made the point about lab tech for ya. Last year, any discusses as we say. Not niti and then if we here, we had to get to that point. Say doctors feel say will be a or experience or degree to the effects of or lab technician. Never could we ask you until a doctor goes through the results of your adeno. Engine
Samitio from Nipana na meetie na asem no. It typically takes 12 to 14 years to become a licensed anesthesiologist. 4 years of undergraduate study, 4 years of medical school, 4 years of residency. Ultimately, anything I want to be sure, say, yeah, Ghana, because don't forget that he said that the kind of certification at the moment,
BSc and anesthetist.
Yes.
NSC one person BSc what's the name? Oh, he mentioned, I forgot the word is not coming. BSc physician assistant. What I say? And it is no longer the same idea to say anesthetist. No, it has come below it. And that is what they also don't agree to say. Why would you want to degrade or downgrade the thing from where it is now to a physician assistant, where even if I'm going to do a PhD, because of my degree being a physician assistant degree, I can't even go and do it. I don't know, but Mr. Austin got me in Komaka. Now, you're about these labor unrests here Ecosway, that of Tewu, that of UTAC, and these anesthetists, no. Say consistently there is supposed to be some communication which has gone on between these unions and government, and government's inertia brings them to the point where they have no option than to take to the streets or put their tools down. Mr. Game, good morning. Hello, good morning, Mr. Austin Game.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. How about you, sir?
By His grace.
I would want your reaction to the general, situation in the country where we are having, for instance, UTAC, Tewu, and these anesthetists deciding to strike. From where you sit as a labor expert, how do you feel about these happenings, especially at the beginning of the year?
Thank you. Well, there is no reaction from me. I'm not part of the system, so I cannot react. Indeed, even if I were to be responsible for any of these sectors, I will not react per se. We have to find a sober way of dealing with some of these things to prevent it either from happening again or have it resolved as quickly as possible should there be the need for it. Let's separate them. If we take the case of Tewu, I think it's been there. They went some time ago and they were persuaded to stop so that government will give it attention or the employer will give it attention. I think it's all about resources. If it were easy, it would have been paid, and therefore you will not have these problems on your hand. Unfortunately, there appears to be so much pressure on the purse, and so the attention is divided, and these are the consequences. But it's for us to prudently manage everything that we have, and if you don't have something, you have to engage the people. You don't wait for them to rather put pressure on you. I'm sure they have been engaging. However, maybe it's not enough. So now that it's on like this, it's better it's resolved before the schools reopen, so you do not have a crisis on your hand and or returning people back to their homes when they've already been transported to the schools because of Tewu strike. So it's up to the officials to ensure that these things are not merely nipped in the bud, as we normally say, but resolved, either through the paying of what they want, or you assuage their fears that it will not be done at all. That's about the Tewu. Regarding the anesthesis, I think this is not an issue that should have been on the table at all in the first place. I say so because this is not a salary demand. It's not about payment of anything. It's purely class control. Many years ago, we never had one single doctor or so trained as anesthetist with some big titles. It's been these people who have been working all these years and keeping us alive when we go under the knife. Today we have some 40, 50, 60 or so people who have been trained as doctors in charge of anesthesiologists. Unfortunately, there appear to be some tension between calling them certified or call them assistant and so forth and so on. This is the only reason. It's about class control. It's about undermining some other people per se. But we have the, for instance, if you take the government-controlled hospitals. It's only Kolebu and maybe partially Komfanoche, where we have some of the 60 or so doctors hanging around. The rest of the country is controlled by the anesthetists. And if you want to undermine them, they will undermine you. You know, but I know some effort is being made. I myself, I tried to intervene at a certain point in time, but the class control was so overwhelming. But if I were to be in government, I will not allow them to get this thing to the level it has gone to. I will not allow it for even 5 minutes if I were to be in charge. But I think that government is making every effort now.
But would you say that government has been proactive enough, considering that, like you say, this is just a pure matter of class?
Yeah, it's purely class control matter. You know, they don't want some people to get closer to them. They want to have control over people's lives. But you are just about 60 in the country. They are not considering the rest of the people. If your aunt, your brother, yourself, you are in trouble somewhere in some remote area, you are finished, because they are not there and they will never be there. These are the people who are there, and you don't want them to be considered in any way at all. So these are the consequences. So if I were to be in charge, and I can tell you that I was at some of these meetings before, and I intervened and pleaded that they should take good steps. I think the effort is not good enough, but today I'm aware that they are making every frantic effort to try and resolve, because the CHAG, that is the Christian health organizations, are suffering seriously. And so they are also interested in having this matter resolved. The minister himself also is making some effort. So hopefully, if they are able to discuss it through today, that should be over. But I will not allow this to happen 2 minutes if I were to be there.
Now, you said for us to separate the issues. So let's put the health issue aside and go to the education issue, where we are looking at TEWU and then UTAG. You made the point that it's a matter of resources. But is it really a matter of resources when, for instance, if you listen to TEWU, all they are saying is that at some point there was supposed to have been a committee which was to be set up between themselves and the GES to go to the table and have these negotiations done. We are in 2022. This committee has not been set up and they have not met. UTAG also makes the same or similar claim about, even meeting the people to have a conversation. Is it really a matter of the lack of resources and not rather a matter of the proactiveness of government?
Well, I mentioned the two. I said one is a matter of resources. Two, it's a matter of how you as the employer take steps to bring the people to the table. It's about inclusion. People want to be involved in decision making. Look, and if you live in a certain village or even in Tema, Shama, Accra, you don't have money yourself. But when you're going to sleep in the night, you close your door. Whichever way it is, you close your door. No matter what. So, however it is, engage the people. I have also been in ministry before. We will not allow something to fester beyond a certain level. You will have your leg amputated if you don't want to treat your wounds.
Is it that government is not taking these unions serious?
Well, I said sometimes, as soon as you mention government, they carry it to the level of politics, partisan, dirty politics. Let's limit it to the employer, their employer. If government is not there, the employer remains, another government will come and to the employer. So it's actually the true, apart from going to parliament and going to maybe executive meeting of government, the rest of it is purely employer-employee relations, and they must understand it as such.
So would you say that the GES is not interested or hasn't shown that commitment, or is not treating the matter with the seriousness that it deserves?
Look, let me be very honest with you. Government organizations, institutions. You call it GES, you call it health sector, whatever, you call it anything. They don't know how to manage people's side of business. They don't know. They are only talking about resources. When I learned a lesson when I ventured into politics earlier, and learned a lesson, bitter lessons, because the people generally in these sectors, they don't simply know how to handle the people's side, leading negotiation and bringing understanding with even the kind of labor act we have. With even the kind of labor act we have that makes it a lot more easier, in fact, extremely easier to manage the people's side of the business is actually maybe at best 5% I can give. It's just not on. And that's why we have every now and then you have some form of strike. They don't have the skill. We don't have the skill pack to call upon, depending upon the circumstance. Wait. This UTAC thing is not extremely grievous that you cannot have a meeting and persuade and get them to understand that these are the real circumstances. I know they have held meetings before. I know that if you know that you cannot afford it, why did you say that let's put together this year at a certain date, we'll act on it this way or that way? You know you cannot do it, don't force it. Let them know fully. And then when it comes to the crunch, if it's going to be an arbitration that will give a ruling on a day, give a ruling. If they'll get 5, they get 5. If they'll get 10, they get 10. They get 15, they get 15. If you give a promise, you have to redeem it.
Mr. Austin Gami, well, thank you for making time to join us this morning live on the Happy Morning Show. And that's Labour consultant, Mr. Austin Gami, joining us this morning on the Happy Morning Show live on ETV, live on Nisim 95.9 and 100.1 as well in Tamale and Bogatanga. Quickly, yen dash it to a year Enra. Sifa Enra now follow you, so the producer one. And on the man and idiot children in them and finding out what's happening with the reversal of the benchmark values in the 30% and 50% in them. As at the time, if you had say around 9:30, 9:45, Enra Enyumreno. Now, from what we got in the day, it didn't start. It really didn't start yesterday.
I think Mr. Eboa made mention of the fact that the system had not been synced yet for the reversal. And what we were also made to understand is some of the stakeholders within the trading sector and as a industry sector were having a crunch meeting. As of the time that I free and most of them were at the meeting. As we speak, they've not come out yet with any communique to that effect. Say, and but they have made it quite clear. Say the reversal will not inure to the benefit of even the economy itself. It will not inure to the people within the country. It will not inure to even traders. Guta makes the argument. Say na yedisa etoisa nkoto to subio na omoba betwezi kakese e port ansa no mazesa ne ma na report de akwa akogu warehouse ansa no mazesa free warehouse de akwa akoma eye wholesalers and retailers no na omohwe no mususu e ka na wahu ni nyina no a enya de omoma ye krado se omo ebefa saaka no omo de omo epemfa so nti no e ka no omo de beba menu mienu na ye be den ebetimi atua currency aban enhwe ni ye na nka be ya enka on hold you on for the time being no money broader consultation.
The welfare national welfare officer for Guta Edin Komo Enra our fact sheet. So you hear excerpts of that conversation now. You know, you back to the studio and commodity. So
those factories out there started increasing their prices. So these world commodity prices increased between 50 to 100%. For the items we go to buy and bring in. And then the shipping lines took advantage of the situation. Right from late 2020 to 2021, they increased freight charges up to about 300% and over. So you can imagine So it was just this, you know,
benchmark values,
50% reduction that held us a bit. So even though prices went up, they did not go up that high as it should have been. And that is what we were holding on till we started hearing that some people were lobbying for the, you know, the benchmark values to be reversed to the 100%.
But why would anybody want to lobby for the removal of these values that gave relief to importers when I know our economy is import driven? Why would somebody lobby for the removal of these values?
Yeah, we got to know from what we're hearing and later from our friends AGI that they were part of those lobbying, in the sense that they felt that if the values were, you know, raised back to the 100%, it will help with their local production and sales of the items being produced here. And that was generally what they were lobbying for, which we saw it as really a weak, very weak, you know, argument, in the sense that you don't expect my prices to go higher before your prices find some equilibrium for you to sell. In our local balance, it says that unkum jedini indija. You don't expect mine to go so high before yours takes some equilibrium. And that is what we're trying to tell government. That look, the pandemic was still killing us. Things have gone so bad. And therefore, deciding to reverse this thing at that time was really that bad. And they should reconsider and know that, like we said, it's an import-driven economy. We are now trying to build some factories here in the river, some factories here and there. But then we should know the capacity of those factories, how much they are producing. And in any case, has those factors that really caused us to ask for this sort of reduction in the values, have they been cleared? They are still there, and even at a higher, you know, magnitude. Okay. And therefore, we realize that if there's anything that was going on, rather let's sit down and let's look at the situation very well. We had this ding dong battle till just before the budget. We got to know that they are reversing it on about 43 items. So now it wasn't reversed on all, but on 43 items. But even the 43 items, we just got the list just when they were reading the budget. So we've not even sat down to have any stakeholders meeting to look at the items and see the local capacity of these items. Because majority of them are things that are used daily, you know, food, beverages, drinkables, non-alcoholic ones, rice, and all that. They are all in there. Look, we all want Ghana to grow. We want to grow our industries. If our industries are growing and doing that well, who would, you know, change money into this hard currency, pick a plane, travel outside, pay expensive hotel bills, pack goods into these containers and ship them, come to these ports, and look at the hassle. If there's a factory at Dodowa and it's producing these very same items, wouldn't it be more easier and convenient to just pick a vehicle and go and buy from them?
Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9, the 100.1 in Tamale Bogatanga. Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and rap. Mr. Eboa, the submissions will make here our factories. So one tie entry ETV and on Tuesdays. We have very, very incisive discussions on issues of national interest, and you may be on 8 p.m. to 9. 1 hour solid. Yeah, the resource persons say better now say no more ebobo in some not one more so extra one more arguing. My producer and it's if Dankwa S. No eti hanum say and obefati. On matters of the removal of benchmark values, yeah, now I'm for enjoy 30%, 50%, and the call for the government to hold on.
The call for government to hold on. The thing say it still has not taken effect, even as
well. Officially, there is supposed to have taken effect.
But it hasn't. So we can't tell. There is no explanation has been given as to why Endrano into me ambim, right? Into no ebia government has heard the concerns of omo feel say omo yin film but yeah what when I join ho you don't understand so 43 or 42 commodities was under the category now almost say be affected no you wonder where as interviewee in the car you know you wonder where AGI or why the AGI would advocate for BBC. And I remember, so I think so only AGI, Eddie Incomoda.
Yeah.
And I don't remember quite the explanations.
No, you know they are talking about.
They didn't really come out to say Empire de Epe.
No, their position is that local industries must be given the chance to grow.
Sammy.
And that the imported products or goods become competition for these local industries. And so, for instance, if I decide to manufacture a phone,
and you bring even a car falls under that, Anna.
Yes, the car, that's the 30% benchmark value reduction that was being given for the imported vehicles. No? In order to allow for local industries to grow.
Into local car industry, Ben.
Oh, sir, VW. But that was the intent why you remember the issue about salvage cars?
Yes.
You remember the issue about salvage cars? The intent was that we're banning the importation of these salvage cars to allow for the VW assembling plants to thrive. That was the intent.
But you see, my sometimes.
But before I remember, Mr. Amadakwa ending komo.
Okay.
Where economist, financial expectancy. So, I don't say this, I don't do that, but I think I love the submissions of Amadakwa. Most of the times that I've had conversations with him. Mr. Amadakwa, good morning and thanks so much for joining us. Hello. All right. Okay. Yani AGI president ending komo na yembisano ensem kakra Mr. Seth Chum Akwabwa yembisano ensem kakra for the reversal or withdrawal of the 30% and 50% benchmark values. You know, and per the hint we got, they were the chief advocates for the removal of these values. You know, Mr. Seth Chum Akwabwa, good morning.
Good morning.
Nano pay ibom to say.
Nyamiadom.
Confirm my yati say mo na mo ye chief advocate for the removal of the 50% 30% benchmark values. Okay.
Well, yeah, advocate say you withdraw from some of the products, and that's what has happened.
Why?
Okay, let me know. Benchmark values, what did it do? What it did was that it reduced the cost of import because this is now Utiano was reduced by half because of the benchmark value reduction. And I imported products, I cheaper than locally produced wine. And the catch up I say, so policy no more into the Juma I or Ghana. Name of the think I ban only select. No take products na young produce to a handle. Now they produce to a handle there. On to so money to see it because conditions and the environment haven't improved, haven't changed. The new Rabia cost of capital no alcohol. The cost of energy is high. All these factors and making the cost of production high in Ghana. And the only benchmark values now. The local manufacturers are pushing them in a very competition. How much completely. And then, of course, they're buying for the past years, they're buying. Some of the industries are really going down. And also, at the Asian today, they have an industrialization agenda. And in Kingston, I'm starting one district, one factory, planting for food and jobs. They have planted a big factory. Industrial zones near the I engineer inside at the park. I have a industry that costs employ more people. And do the policy, the own agenda, that is a coye papa. Anything a cash about it, and it's on a there. Also, now put us near your Ghana there and car. Or review policy. Then the Usha, having put us near important. That's about 40%. Year review. And you know, the rest will be a and you know, that's the situation.
Opani, Mami, idea of the industries are. One more a year affected as a result of the competitive nature of the imported products about Maui. So which my idea kakra?
Okay, only producing the rice. They were heavily affected. Completely disabled. massacre more than about $250 300 a coffee because they can't produce. Last December, about 3 months, no printing to Amaka. If they am told me December, our factory, almost a video near the say. Like cemetery, quiet. You know, I can do every do Christmas and over tracks in a load do rice because rice I do get to be. I'm going to up and down. I'm going to produce oil. Oil, yeah. I'm on the other. I will say, I'm going to aquafom. And you know, you want to produce, you know. I'm going to produce, I just imported oils in a banter. Meanwhile, capacity to supply the whole country. And you know, that's another typical example.
You know, on rice in this kakra.
If producing everywhere, yet we are importing at a cheaper price. They are affected.
Your rice growers, one more capacity. We say, in terms of their ability to feed the nation. So, who figures among figures kakra? Now, Oma example of rice growers and also rice producers. We say, and I was asking, sir, in terms of data more as AGI, you know, what more capacity at the same to feed the nation?
Okay, so at some point, when made in Ghana rice, depending on what I see, a boom, and later what sort of improvements they buy. And they're probably made in Ghana rice because made in Ghana. Because the importing in our quality, you know, it matched up with them. At some point, you know, we're only producing maybe just about 10, 15 to maybe 20% of local rice consumption. The whole pastoral government by your hair say, rice out of our strategy, you know. The production went up too much. Now we're covering almost 60% of our local demand. If you call marketer, you see a lot of local rice. Suddenly it has dropped again because of the benchmark value in production. You know, and you know, our objective was to reach self-sufficiency in rice production. That means that all the rice we consume in this country, we should be able to produce it, except maybe a small percentage here, maybe no pen or very exclusive way. And gradually we're getting there. And after the quality drop. And you know, we are doing almost 60%. To say a couple. I'm not sure say I don't have the latest figures, but I'm not sure that going around and living at being about 60%. And you know, we have to invest so that gradually we see the improvement in our effect. Bear in mind, all the rice millers they're also employing people. They are buying, they are also, and it's also connected to the entire value chain. Rice we produce the paddy rice here. What is almost and to call off for the big way, I hear your farms almost produce it. If we cannot process them in this country, where would they sell their product? And so now will be affected. And it's near and the entire value chain. And at each level of the value chain also jobs is created. And you know, I didn't hear pass a double body now policy there M1 into the Juma very version.
Obibaka say AGI must rather focus attention on the stabilization of the city. Obibaka say AGI must rather focus attention on a year inflation rate. AGI must rather focus attention on the interest rates that the industries are paying at the banks and not necessarily on the removal of benchmark values.
That's the way, but I don't see the logic. I don't see the logic because there are so many factors. So, I just say, no, maybe, no, so now okay. And I say so, but bro, I say unana can na uti about the problem of the union unana can concentrate on na uti on there and they ignore. It doesn't work like that. There are so many factors that determine your cost of production and determine your competitiveness. Cost of capital it does not mean say that okay, if that is the case, some men are cost of capital near high, which we admit and we've been talking about it. cost of energy high. All those factors, no, they are not in favorable to your production. And you know, you have a difficulty in the market. But if you have difficulty in the market, that's will reduce to the very people now who know competing and who struggle because of all these factors. So that will reduce more cost now. Reduce me by half. Then how do you expect me to compete? Or then they concentrate on the cost of capital. That we need to ignore. How will it work? And it's a combination of things, and they must all work at the same time. Besides, cost of capital no one in ano. I didn't reduce benchmark values. And money a year cheaper. And the reverse no, it's not a new introduction. It's just where we were before, and almost simple as that. It's going to make the cost of capital high, and you're not concentrating on and ignore the benchmark value. Even if you reduce the cost of capital, that's almost more money, you know, companies that want money, you know, work China, environment is different from ours. Cost of energy, it's always 15 cents per kilowatt hour. They are paying about 4 cents. How can you compete? Interest rate, what kind of thing? You are paying about 20%. So how can you compete? And you know, already, you know, you are in a difficult situation. But you almost the that's several way, you know. Every country, the oil and the duty, you know, and the balance on your macacra. It can some of the bear car, or the fast ship, what to do. Now, what's your duty, Kaka? Not your mouth, you know, so and then I know you are compete. That's how continue duty this one. Not as a what you know. Yes, we king of better. It's not the argument.
Opani, memfa the information kakra bi infama na say betimi ato ankometwetwa in the matter of the rice I will set the example na yedi edi nkomonom. I'm looking at some data actually say consistently no yen rice deficit in terms of local production no it has been increasing. Okay, amount data from 2017 and workers say the rice I produce here was around 721,000 tons of rice you produce here, but your consumption no outstrip your production no by some over 500,000 tons. So then you ask yourself, say you can import your giant local industry so produce a rice now capacity no.
You see, capacity doesn't come overnight. You build capacity. You create market conditions. You create market opportunity. And businesses will take advantage of it. And you know, so capacity, and you know, you important, you will never build a capacity. Capacity is not, but company can say, market, you know, you have to now produce, I know producer with them, so we can market them back. Nobody does that. No, environment makes create good conditions for market opportunities. So then you need to be able to produce. I buy and then a normal cassette. Right to be okay, and then the commodities you are, and you say you produce you are. And they targeted rice. It is rice, you know. All of a sudden, there were a lot of rice millers coming up. Last year, President Ankasa economic to see two factories in the north all producing rice. Up to today, they are not producing. They are not producing because of some of these problems are making. And you know, the open building capacity, you don't destroy the market opportunity to make money. I'm producing supply, exporting to Ghana. So we say market is good. Not the money more difficult. They will become investors. They will come and set up a factory here and produce and supply. And the capacity in India. If you want to build it, you can build it, but create the market conditions. Market conditions, you are better than your capacity.
Mr. Kwawa, I don't know if you meeting come AGR for President Mr. Seth Chum Akwabwa in aiding Komo FR the reversal of the 30%, 50% benchmark value and one more enjoy at the port. Yeah, I need more by a bar now for your beautiful lines not to normal phones so after nominating. back. Nemo, we are back and we are going. But you're quite na me call man for say. Per the police, per the enkoma yeti amount for one a bar a ETV ni Happy FM be patcho say Happy FM mass wedding no. One say no. The closure of a year, the purchasing of the forms, ni yensa sum bie no. Me pa mcho ye bie mu biem. Earlier, mon fan chame na me ma date na me ma no on the 18th. One see ye bie ma kopem on the 16th. Enti mesrew. Fra branch ni is kan se kwadwo. Konfo na bie mu o. Yen kɔ ne fa 500 Ghana cedis. Yen kɔje word na mu odin na mu ohwam na efe.
Mentiasi ada na you should kwadwo.
Cause kwadwo for no mo hene.
Me ya kwadwo me honya.
Me se kwadwo for mo hene.
Remo nyama de ya kwadwo.
What is
hene?
Huh? What is anyu weda?
Yeah, honya hene.
What is anyu weda? Secret anima. Patabu sufo. Innocent face. So what is anyu weda? Ya boma kwadwo for. Odi asepa oye dey. Obey kwadwo pe.
Ah, anya kwame ware.
Debi because kwame dey. Debi because kwame for there. Ya hujo. Yem passem
na waka so bia o fe no odi asem pa no dem na wonde.
It be some mass wedding. Yes, I will be moving on the 16th and the deadline, the new deadline. Mr. One Hokani Mumbra, Mubu, Obafa Fefe beat reception, furnish with Stella, Oba check them not modding como, na margin forms, no Tia Fanagana City form no counseling, no Asha Sia Nessa, and 14th year. Na don't do. You better be a see, Inshia, Yamepa, or Chanapa.